survive, know the world my time. feel the heartbeat inside. When you're drunk, when you're drunk, when you're drunk, when you're drunk, when you're drunk. Do you believe in magic? Do you believe in magic? When you're drunk, when you're drunk, when you're drunk, when you're drunk, when you're drunk. Me too, I'm just like you, and I need to fuck it up sometime. I'm stuck with ego trips, selling sex to a lovable bar. Sometimes I feel magic, then I manage to fuck up somehow. Get drunk, get drunk, get drunk, get drunk, and I'm getting high. Do you believe in magic?
It used to be luck. You used to be funny. We used to have time. Time without money. We used to feel bad. We used to look sad. We used to have luck. And time without money. We seem to have the time it took. We used to have our things in place. Now reel me in, I've gone too deep. Forgotten what you used to say. We used to have time. We used to be careless. We used to look sad, but we couldn't care less. We seem to have the time it took. We used to have our things in place. Now reel me in, I've gone too deep. Forgotten what you used to say. Do you feel it? We used to feel this. Do you see me? Young and carefree. make love in every way. Baby, run away with me. You kill the lonely. You make my eyes not see all the crazy. You make my heart believe. Oh, baby, run away with me. Don't leave me lonely. You make my eyes not see all the crazy. You make my heart believe. You make my heart believe. Run away with me. You kill the lonely. You make my eyes not see all the crazy. You make my heart believe. Baby, run away with me. Don't leave me lonely. You make my eyes not see all the crazy. You make my heart believe. I don't wanna feel this good just 'cause you called last night. I'm not that girl. I don't wanna dress up for you and be a toy. I'm not that girl. No, I'm not that girl. You got me just as long as I'm bored. Put your feelings aside, give that wild shot a try. Let's ride, no one does it better. Put your feelings aside, throw yourself out in the night. Let's ride, let's ride.
time to flip the page and prove them wrong. It's time for rebirth. Yeah, time's up to say goodbye to all the haters, doubters, and non-believers trying to bring you down. In the blink of an eye, you'll realize that there's so much more to the book than the page you were stuck on. Finally, you will feel free to live a life you love living instead of the life you think other people want you to live. Remember, you are the highest authority when it comes to knowing what you want and what you love. So stop trading yourself for the approval from others. Ladies and gentlemen, weirdos and geeks, please repeat after me. I don't give a fuck.
Target acquired.
Eagle 1, first strike. You have permission to engage the target.
Warning: the following video contains explicit language which may be offensive to some viewers or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and it is Wednesday night. It is the start of a series that we're going to be doing. We're going to dive into that here shortly. Right now, we're just going to kind of chill out for a few minutes, and let me just kind of go over some stuff. First of all, number one is welcome to everyone who is in the chat already. Hopefully, we have some more filling the chat. I know that there's a lot of people watching Andrew tonight, and that is cool. But certainly we're going to have some fun over here. Just a couple of just quick admin things to talk about, guys. I know that I've been pretty regular with my schedule for the past year. We're going to end up, I am going to end up changing it slightly to give me more time during the week to do things that I enjoy, like fishing during the day and the night. And doing some more shooting. I've got a lot of activities that have kind of been pushed aside by all of this streaming stuff, and need to kind of get back to it. Got other things to do, other priorities, and still going to be streaming. I'm just not really sure what the schedule is going to look like more than likely, what it's going to look like is we'll keep the day shift shows kind of more or less the way they are. We may kick those up to 1 o'clock start instead of a noon start. Not really sure about that. And then on the night shift, Wednesday night may be a casualty. We'll see. In general, or we may just push it back to later. In general, when I go out on the lake, I usually don't stay out past dark. But in the summertime here, dark can be like 8:30, 9 o'clock at night, and so I may not fire the show up until 10. But this is all stuff coming down the road, not next week or any time like that. So just be aware that if you do see the schedule change, that is why. Also, I'm working on my airplane. I'm getting really close to getting it to getting it to where I can start testing it and taxing it, and I need to put a lot of work in. So, plus I got other stuff going on. So that's nothing, not a huge bunch of changes, just some. Michelle is backstage. We have a couple of other people who are due. Not really sure. Hopefully they pop into the back here in just a few minutes, and while I continue my opening. What else? Friday night. I'm not really sure what I'm going to be doing Friday night. I actually need to talk to somebody. We may have something going on Friday night. Tomorrow night. So tomorrow afternoon, I'll do the day shift show. It's going to be great. You guys are going to have a lot of fun. Tomorrow night, I will be on with Fabian Liberty. We're going to be discussing Red Pill. Me being a kind of Red Pill adjacent, or Red Pill, often mistaken for Red Pill. Whereas, Fabian's obviously, he's a libertarian and an ANCAP and all of those things. So we're gonna talk. We're gonna have a great discussion tomorrow night. Not a debate, but a really good discussion. I'm trying to get Rob Knorr on maybe next Wednesday night to help with the subject at hand. That may not happen. It may end up being a daytime stream that we have Rob on. But I'm working on getting Rob on. He's just really a busy guy. There's a lot going on. DebateCon is moving forward. There's some interesting stuff going on that I can't really talk about, and I wouldn't talk about it anyway. But it looks like they did a survey on X and somewhere else. They did 2 different surveys for location. Both of them had both of them ended up having a absolutely favoritism towards Nashville. I'm sorry, guys. I'm reading stuff in the back chat, and I need to clean my glasses. Both of them showed favoritism to Nashville. It seems like everybody wants to come to Nashville. Again, when I did my polling, such as it was, that it showed the same thing. Basically, everyone I talked to that had been or had considered going to DebateCon or a DebateCon had said basically that Nashville's great. The food's good. It's relatively safe, so on and so forth. So everybody liked the idea of Nashville. It looks like it just wasn't my folks saying that. The survey was on YouTube. Awesome. So it looks like Nashville is kind of where it's going. I don't know if you guys are really watching the Destiny implosion, but that's very interesting. It looks like not only is he likely to be charged federally with the Sherry and whoever the other girl is, but also now Pixie, I think, has filed a lawsuit as well. That's going to cost him it's going to cost him some bucks. He's in real trouble here, folks. And this should be an example. I know nobody's going to take this example because it just seems to keep happening. It's about once a year we get this big streamer guy that just doesn't pay attention to what the reality is. He just does whatever they want, and then they get caught. That's a like the only people that get away with this kind of stuff is politicians, and Destiny's not a politician. So he's gonna, he's in real trouble. He's in real trouble, and it is what it is. I don't know. The whole thing is it's a mess. He got himself into it. I don't know what more to say. Just is what it is. And let's see what else has been going on. Man, it's just been a busy week. It's been a busy couple of weeks. DebateCon has just been consuming a lot of my time. Not because there's a lot to do yet, but there's a lot of decisions that have to be made, and I'm not the one that makes them, right? Like I'm on the operations side. I don't decide anything. I don't do anything. I basically make suggestions. James and his team make the decisions, and then they just tell they give me a set of parameters for what needs to exist, and I make that happen. That's the way it should work, and I believe that's the way it is going to work because it seems to be the way it's working now. It seems like our guests are running late, so I'm just going to drag this on out. We'll talk about whenever anybody wants to talk about right now. The subject of tonight's show, as I alluded to in several places and several times over the past couple of weeks, is to kind of ask the question, is sex outside of marriage a sin? I personally can't find where it says that specifically. You can certainly allude to it. You can draw conclusions based on what you want it to be, and obviously there's the idea that it is church tradition that is the case. But we're going to argue that. We're going to argue that out a little bit. Not too much. I don't want to spend all night on it. And I'll get into my personal beliefs on the subject. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. And if that is the case, right? And let's just say, let's assume that from my point of view, that it is the case that sex outside of marriage is a sin, and therefore it's wrong. It's fornication, whatever you want to call it. It's wrong, sin. What happens if a girl goes through a hoe phase? What happens if, for whatever reason, a dude makes captain of the football team and has pussy hanging off of him 24/7? What happens? What happens if they rack up a body count? What does it mean? Why does it mean what it means? And moreover, what is society's hang up, if you will? I'm not saying it is a hang up. I'm speaking in very broad terms here. Don't take anything personally. Why should I, other than holding them accountable if they're currently banging 100 dudes or banging 100 women, if they put that behind them, if they've moved on, if they found whatever religion that they have, if that's the case, if it is the case that is a sin, I mean, if they repent, does that make it better? we're going to get into all of this. I see we have Michelle and Ashley, so I'm going to go ahead and bring them up. We'll wait on we'll wait for Glenn a little bit. There's Michelle. There's Ashley. Welcome.
Hi.
Hi, Greg.
I'm just wrapping some things up, and I'll be home shortly. But I'm free to talk, and then I'll get on camera when I get home. Sorry about that.
I believe Glenn has made it. Glenn, what is going on, brother? Glenn's camera took psychedelics.
It's bugged.
It's bugged.
That is for sure.
All right. Glenn, can you hear me?
Is my mic okay, guys?
Your mic is great. Smashley, can we hear you?
Ash?
Yeah, I can hear everybody. Could you guys hear me?
Yes. There was a little echo when you came on, but
I'm not quite home yet. I'm sorry.
that's okay. That's okay. Well, I was just kind of warming up the crowd a little bit, and hopefully Glenn can get his tech issue. I had tech issues tonight too. I actually, literally 5 minutes before I started my startup reel, I lost all internet. I had to go and of course it went back to Wi-Fi and that was fine. And then, but I'm like, oh no, there's no way I can run this on. There he is. There's no way that I can run this show on Wi-Fi tonight. Too much stuff going on. So it looks like my 4-year-old yanked on the cable at the router, and that's why I suddenly had no internet. So,
blame the 4-year-old. That sounds real mature.
Well, it's either the 4-year-old or the 14-year-old or grandpa. So take your pick. It's kind of all the same thing. The 4-year-old's most likely he likes to yank on things and break stuff. So that's what he likes to do.
That tracks.
So I saw Jack made an appearance. I don't know why I'm fake, but fuck that guy. He's supposed to be banned from the channel. He's the only person that I've actually banned from this channel, and somehow he got back in. So we'll have to ban him again. He does not, and I actually every time I see him on a panel, I mute him. I ignore him in the chat. Don't want to deal with that guy. Fuck that guy. Gets 0 mileage. Welcome, Ashley. You've never been on the show before. Welcome to my little corner.
I've watched it a few times, of course, and I've talked with you.
Have you really? Well,
yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, you had Michelle on and Andrew on one time. That was really entertaining.
Yes, that was entertaining. I don't think Michelle was. Not only was she not expecting it, I don't think she was expecting Andrew to be as kind as he was. So both of those things were true at the same time in one day. So it's pretty awesome.
It was a good talk.
So I really like Andrew a lot. Now that I've met him in person, I like him even more. So.
Oh, is that the first time you met him in person? Is that DebateCon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool though. Mm-hmm. So I kind of introduced the topic. Why don't we go around? So first of all, with your understanding, with how whatever religion you are a part of, whatever you've been taught, sex before or outside of marriage, sin? No sin?
Well, from my growing up through like evangelical Christianity, it was definitely a sin. Any sex outside of marriage was definitely a sin. And you even had to be careful over how you thought, because lust was basically the same thing as actually going ahead and doing it. So it was like trying to not think about purple elephants while also talking about purple elephants all the time. And it doesn't work. So I don't think there's very much utility in it. I think we need sensible things, but strictly speaking, from my understanding, is it a sin? I think that sin is something specific for Christianity anyway, and it would definitely qualify. My personal opinion is that sexual ethics are not a part of like objective morality. They're something
Okay.
different, and therefore they can lean one way or another, and it's just going to depend on like your culture and values. So yeah,
That's truly excellent.
thank you.
Should we go to Ashley and then Glenn?
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Let's do that.
Okay, yeah. So essentially, like sex before marriage, do I think it's a sin or immoral, etc.?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. For me personally, I don't. Well, I say I don't have a very strong religious background. I guess I technically do. I come from. I mean, my grandfather was a preacher, and my grandmother was in a traveling gospel musical group and things like that. So I'm familiar with the church. But
Mm-hmm.
my parents in particular, they raised my brother and I to, I don't know, they never went to church and they weren't particularly religious. And so I dabbled in and out of church as a youth. My personal experience with church as a youth was confusing and just a lot of feelings of guilt and unease and just discomfort. So I really never, I don't know, got any kind of real religious grounding as far as that's concerned. As far as sex before marriage, I was 17 when I lost my virginity, and I don't really remember ever feeling bad about it. Um, just kind of like, whoa, I'm not a virgin, you know. And uh, I don't know, it wasn't long after that I met my husband. We were together for a very long time. It was really after my husband, after my divorce, that I've been really experimenting with dating and having, like, I guess you would say, I've had a couple of casual sex partners, and I've not felt like it was sinful or immoral. I think that personally, if you are comfortable and if you are safe, you know, all the cliches, but they're true. And if you are smart with your heart, you know, and you know what you're getting into, which is a lot of times younger people don't, unfortunately, then I think that sex can be a wonderful human experience that can be shared outside of marriage or even sometimes a very serious relationship. And I think that that's okay. Those are my personal feelings, but I respect everyone else's as well, as long as they don't impede on mine.
All right, Glenn. I know you're like ready to go. Have at it.
According to the Bible, it's a sin that I have committed multiple times in my lifetime, like many times. Yeah, it's a sin that growing up, it was a sin that I was looking forward to breaking. You know what I mean? Like it just is what it is. Like
I don't think you're supposed to say you were looking forward to sinning.
I'm being honest. I was.
I appreciate the honesty.
Looking very forward to sinning back in those days, you know. But like if I'm gonna look at it and judge it, I'm gonna look at it and judge it like the way that some like other Christian sects do. Like there's lesser sins and there's greater sins. I will look at it as a lesser sin. Then I mean, if you just look at the statistics of even how many priests stay celibate, it's less than 2%. How many pastors stay, committed and not commit adultery? It's like less than then was it? It's almost 50-50. I think about what the preachit.com statistics report. We know that most of the Christian men are the ones that are claiming to be addicted to pornography, right? So it's like it has to be considered a lesser sin here because then nobody's getting to heaven at this point. So it's a sin that nobody has a problem with breaking at the end of the day.
Well,
Okay.
it's a sin that kind of is a part of life, kind of like how, being gluttonous is, could be a sin. You could overeat. Um, you know, it's pretty natural to have sex, and the marriage is definitely like a construct that came in, regardless if sex was there or not. So I guess when I think of like how the sex came first, likely before somebody saying it was a sin, like what's true is true, like forever, and it doesn't change. And so if you can be in love and have a family and have sex and have it be good, I don't think that you for sure need a construct to make it official for somebody else. I think it can still be good for society and for the people.
Okay, those are all very reasonable answers. And I when I started kind of researching this, I actually had to go look because I had always been taught that sex before marriage was a sin. Nobody ever told me which sin it was, but it was. So then I started looking, and I found where the delineation that Paul makes between fornication and sex that's okay. And basically, as near as I can tell, and Glenn helped me out with this, um, the act of fornication for sure is a sin, but that is we would term it as deviant sex now, or unusual sex, right?
Now, that's pretty
Lesbianism.
usual. It's pretty common.
I'm sorry.
It's pretty usual and common. It's not
Yeah.
unusual.
Now what's back then what was
It
deviant
is,
is now
it
you
is
know
outside of the boundaries or um, the space where sex is permitted.
yeah. So it's like it was Paul defined it as one man, one woman, and not out of pure lust. Pure
No,
lust. What would you
uh,
say? Animal? You had something the other day.
I
You
would say
talked.
more animalistic.
Yeah, yeah, it can be animalistic. That's what Glenn said the other day. I kind of agree with that. Sorry.
No rabbit humping or anything like that.
No, that goes my half my repertoire. Um, so the at the end of the day, though, let's just say that you have sinned. Maybe you've sinned a lot. Maybe you enjoyed it so much that you did the deviant stuff on camera or something, right?
Hey, now,
And
by protection.
right. So at that point, you kind of got to ask yourself, if you're not repentant, obviously that you're living in sin and therefore there's no forgiveness, right? That's my interpretation. Is that what you got, Glenn?
Yeah, like, well, if you don't feel remorse for the egregious acts that you committed, right? Like, if you don't feel like, oh Lord, forgive me. Truly, I don't want, like, you're not gonna want to do that anymore. Like, you're like, you realize that it was wrong, and you're like, I am not doing that ever again, and you turn your life around and stay away from it, right? Like, that's the repentant heart. Like, it's go and sin no more type of thing.
Yeah, but remorse isn't enough. You actually have to be
Well,
repentant. Right?
remorse leads to the repentance. Like, if you feel the
Sure,
guilt
sure. I
for
go
it,
with that. I go with
yeah.
that. So let's just say that for we'll just take we're going to pick on women here for a minute just because we can.
Oh shit.
And let's just say
Man
that
hating
you have a
women.
girl who is a good girl, been to church all her life, and then she goes to college, joins a sorority, has a hoe phase for the first year. No idea how much frat dick's been inside that thing. You just don't know. A lot of alcohol involved. The following summer, meets the love of her life, gets her heart broken or some shit because he finds out she's a recovering whore, or maybe she's still being a little bit of a whore. Then she starts her what do you call it, Glenn? The climb out, the repent, the remorse, right? She starts feeling that remorse, and comes to God, says, "Okay, I'm not a whore anymore. I'm a good girl now.
I'm going to be a whore for you, Jesus."
I should have known. That was coming. I really should have.
Set me up for that. Like, you set me up for that. Stop it.
I literally should have seen that coming.
You should be mad at yourself for that one.
I am a little bit. Ghost 1978. Yes, Ashley is an actual woman. She's been on camera before.
Mm-hmm. She's been on my show several times.
Yeah, just give me just a short while and I'll be home.
That's sorry. Okay. It's all right. So goes through the hoe phase, recovers.
Just conveniently around the time she's hitting the wall, right?
Right. Well, let's not say she's hitting a wall. Let's just say that, all of a sudden, let's say that all of a sudden, and I actually have seen this happen where, the girl goes and becomes kind of a sorority hoe, and then comes out the other side. The second year in college, all of a sudden, there's some dude that she really likes, and he won't have anything to do with her because she, she's a hoe. And then she straightens her shit out, figures out life isn't about being a cock tease or whatever, and it moves on, right? And if she's lucky, she hasn't had any kids, right? We'll get into that part later, but she's, she regrets it, moves on, but she's honest about it. So she doesn't lie. She doesn't say when she's asked by potential people that are dating her, because in today's society, there's an immense amount of pressure with all of the diseases and all that kind of nonsense. There's immense pressure to say, well, I've had a past. Can't go into how, what kind of past, but there's a past back there, and you should know that. And she says that, and for whatever reason, some dudes just can't get past it, which that's totally on them. But at what point do normal people that are not trying to date her, at what point is it wrong to sit in judgment or try and, I shouldn't say wrong. At what point is it less proper to more or less, sit in judgment or not accept the fact that she has sought redemption and may or may not be redeemed? Go ahead, Glenn. You're the only one answering any of this shit.
Decides that she don't want to do any of those fun things that she did with them. She don't want to do them with me. Yeah, then I'm judging. I'm judging hard.
I'm saying she's not trying to get with you, Glenn.
Oh, then I don't care.
I'm saying that you know that she a hoe because you went to the same college, or you saw her video on YouTube where she's coming out of a strange man's car or some shit. I don't know. Maybe there's some evidence out there, because nowadays there's always evidence.
Her past. Yeah.
Sorry?
There's digital evidence of her past always.
Right. There's digital. Everybody except me has digital evidence of their past.
She had over 300 bodies and was a stripper.
I'm not saying 300, but let's say 20. Average frat girl. Every other week, new dick.
I mean,
doesn't care. Well, yeah, whatever, right? All right. So, is it wrong? So, if she is honest with people around her, says, "Hey, I did some stupid shit when I was younger. I don't do that anymore. Changed my whole life. Everything's great." Why is it, Glenn, I would like you to hypothesize, and maybe Ashley as well. Why is it that there seems to be like this Puritan ultra? I hate to use the word ultra religious because it fits, but it's oily. It feels bad to say it, but why is it you're not cutting that girl some slack?
Well,
Or that dude. We could actually literally say, man, it could be a dude.
so one, we don't get judged harshly for that.
Yeah, we don't.
No. So
Although some do.
oh, never mind. Okay.
The world is judging P. Diddy pretty damn hard right now.
Well, yeah, because
And Elon Musk. Elon Musk is getting his dick examined by like everybody right now.
well, he should, because that thing got some, some bumps on there. So the reason why it's because, well, the Puritan culture hates sex. All right, they look at sex as basically it's only for procreation. It is a chore, not something to enjoy. How dare you enjoy it? Okay, sex is just for baby making. If you're doing sex for anything other than baby making, if you're having fun with it, if you like it, oh, you are doing it for the wrong reasons and you're perverting it. It should be only for baby making.
Well, wait a minute. When I sign off and I say, hey, you guys suck, I'm going to go have adult activities with my wife.
You better be baby
people? Do I offend people that I'm going to go have? Is that offensive?
You are not doing it to make babies. You are sinning, sir, according to the old Puritan.
You're not supposed to like it.
You're not supposed to
like it. Can't like it.
No, you know.
You're not supposed to.
I gotta read this from. I gotta read this from my buddy K2. $2 from K2. Keep on trucking. 303 made a song called "Don't Trust a Hoe." I mean, male or female, don't do that.
I heard it,
but there are exos too.
It's a decent song.
It's a decent song. All right. Old Joe says his answer is different than it would have been 25 years at 25 years old. Sure,
that makes sense. We
grow up, some of us. Mr. Mister says I got married after he had 2 kids, so he was sporty. Yeah. So I'm gonna go with not all women. You should believe you shouldn't. You can't believe all women. Like that's the dumbest thing ever. You can't believe all women just because they say I'm not a hoe anymore. I don't know. Maybe you believe them. Maybe I'm not. I don't know. But look, and Glenn's head's like about to come off his head.
No, believe nobody.
Yeah.
Until proven otherwise.
Actually, I think that's a good policy when it comes to sex in general. But what about
all women are promiscuous and they're good? Because then if you're not promiscuous and you find out that they are chaste, then hey, wow,
bonus,
bonus,
it's a bonus round. And the Briar Wolf says that's fair. It could just be because of the herpes.
Herpesippolates.
That's gross, man. That's gross. Why did you bring that up in here? Now we got stream herpes. What's up with that? Can't have that.
Yeah, you had a virus a long time ago before me. I don't even know what you're talking about.
What do you think about this, Ashley? You're being awfully quiet.
Yeah, I actually just got home and I had to take the dogs out really quick while I was listening.
No worries. Dogs are cool.
Give me just a couple of seconds. I'll let Michelle answer on that one really quick, and I will give me like 2 minutes and I'm all in.
Sure. All right. While we're waiting for that, what about you, Michelle? I know that you know people personally. I know one of the people that you know personally that is in theory, reformed hoe.
I mean, I wouldn't comment on somebody else's, hoe-ness.
No, I'm not. No, definitely not. What I'm asking is, do you
I judge them?
yeah, do you judge them harsher than you would someone else?
I think it actually, if I learn more about the reasons behind it, like, I think there's something to be said about like the body count question if it matters.
Mm.
I think that the question of how heavy those bodies weigh on you is probably more important.
Mm.
And
That's interesting.
yeah, if you've had like nothing but bad experiences that pile up and it changes you as a person, you're not going to be very fun to deal with.
Mm.
And if you have good experiences with people that respected you, you'll likely go into something later on a better person for it. And if not, and say, you know, you did make mistakes and people did treat you poorly, it isn't too late for you to learn how to do better and treat the other people that come into contact with you better. So
Mm.
I think that that actually comes into the whole redemption aspect. Like,
Mm.
it isn't too late to go ahead and change your behavior and start being a better partner to the people that you care about and start making those better decisions. But they
Mm.
can't be for a shitty reason. They have to be because you care about the people and you care about yourself.
Yeah, I mean, let's just be, super honest here and intellectually honest, mostly that it's highly situational, right? I don't often talk about it, but when I was a younger man, I dated a stripper. That bitch was crazy, absolutely nuts. And I was going through it, and the have you ever seen have you I'm sure you have you met a woman that most of the time is like awesome, like super cool, perfect, just great to be around. But for whatever fucking reason, the smallest of things can turn them from being chill to raging bitch in like nothing, and for no reason, like absolute, and targeted not at the people who actually pulled the trigger, but actually at the target they feel most comfortable, uh, bashing, and that generically was me. And that bitch was crazy. I'm just telling you right now, that bitch was crazy. And I wanted so bad to look past what she had done in her life, right?
Mhm.
I wanted to and that's one of the reasons why I believe that taught me to be a little more tolerance, or a little bit more tolerant. But at the same time, I understand what the signs are. I understand what the roadmap says, right? Years later, after she had some personal growth, I ran into her, and married, kids, totally normal. Like, you would never know that she'd been a stripper. Um, Maybe a whore. I don't know. Didn't get that far into it, but yeah,
I mean, are
crazy.
they really that much different from everybody else? I mean, I guess that's like another question that
Well,
I
they're
kind of
not
threw on.
different than everybody else, right? And what I tell you, what really fucks with me about this, Michelle, and I'm sure that you'll appreciate this. It fucks with me in my brain so hard that they will literally sit there and tell you or you can watch them mentally try and treat dancing bare ass naked on stage in front of a bunch of men like it's a job. Like it's just a job. It's just a job. I'm like, no, it's not. It's not a job. That's really not a job. Like that's crazy. And they try and justify it and rationalize it, and they get so far, and then it just goes nuclear.
If
Thermonuclear
sex sells,
warfare.
how is it not a job?
Huh?
If sex sells and sales is a job, how is it not a job?
Well, I guess what I'm saying is they act like it's just a job, just another job without
Oh,
it,
okay.
or
You're
it's
gonna have like implications from it. Sure.
yeah, like there's no mental it's literally like prison guards saying that it doesn't affect them,
Oh, that would be ridiculous. I would never say that.
right? Um, and I'm not saying that that there aren't, because all right, so I tell you that, so the deal was is I met this girl who um when I met her, she was just part-time stripping, and she had done it for a semester or two to pay her tuition, get her car fixed, all of the normal bullshit that girls get into stripping for, because it's like super easy money and whatever. And I have no idea if she'd been harassed. I have no idea. Honestly, at that time in my life, I didn't give a fuck enough to ask. I was not a good enough person to even have those conversations, because I didn't care. Right? She was hot. She was cute. Most of the time, she was really cool. But there was that underlying current of whatever the fuck it was, and she could just go from, like I said, just like super cool to ready to slash your tires in like a second. And so that's actually never left me, right? Like that. But again, years later, I saw her. She's married, a couple of kids, I think maybe 3. I don't know. I didn't count them. Super good life. I don't know if the dude knows that she was a stripper. I'm sure that part of her life is like not something she wants to talk about. But I'm certain that it wore on her, right?
I mean, it has to. It changes who you are.
Yeah.
To
I
like
would think
have to like sexually activate people day after
Yeah.
day with no intention. Like
Right.
that will you do your own kind of dehumanizing.
Right. And disassociation, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, to me, it was shocking to me. It really was. It was really one of those things where I was like, because when I started dating her, I didn't know. But yeah. So anyway.
So if the relationship, like if she wasn't crazy, like what was it that
Well,
drew
she
you into
was,
her?
man, I tell you, at that time, I really liked um, petite, blonde, very demure, page boy haircut, the whole deal, right? Like there was nothing I didn't like about this girl,
Oh.
right? Except she was crazy.
And
And
it
I
was
mean,
just like that flip of the switch.
flip of a switch. Like we could be driving down a road, having a great conversation, and just something hit the wrong way, and just off to the races. And it never ended. The thing was, is that I could probably have taken that if it was just a little minor outburst, but it was like a 4-hour deal, and I knew that for the next 4 hours, first of all, I wasn't going to be able to go to sleep. And that's actually where I came up with my expression that the reason I don't, my wife and I have never gone to sleep angry at each other is because I don't want to sleep with one eye open. It's all because of that stripper.
Damn. Just like dangerous now. You're traumatized forever.
I just there was just something about her. So I just never go to sleep when she's angry.
Damn.
I'm sorry, Ashley. You probably missed a lot of that. That's okay. How are you tonight?
Sorry, I'm here now. I'm good. How are you guys?
We're good. We're good. It would have been, I think, it would have been an awesome conversation with the people that were supposed to be involved, but unfortunately, things happen.
Unfortunately,
Okay.
you're stuck with me and Michelle. So
Well, Michelle and you are excellent as well. It was Michelle's actually been on the show several times. Everyone likes Michelle.
Thank you.
So.
No, they don't.
I wasn't necessarily totally prepared to be on the stream tonight.
You're okay.
That was my bad.
No.
Yeah.
I just wasn't sure what exactly was going on. So I'm sorry. I just had things I had to get done earlier. So
before it goes too far, Anson Knowles is in the chat. He's recently divorced. He's a huge flirt and can be quite sarcastic. And he's but take him with a grain of salt. He's a super cool guy.
I don't let much of anything bother me. Don't worry about that.
Awesome. So, what do you think about the idea of the past being the past? Forgive, forget, move on. If you find out, it's none of your business. Who cares? Don't sit in judgment of people's whether or not they are actually working on redemption or whatever. What do you think about that?
What are they working on redemption from? What are they redeeming?
Well, let's just use the most common one recently. Is there seems to be like this puritanical movement surge, if you will, of dudes, mostly dudes, some women, mostly. I just get it from a lot of dudes that if a girl has had sex, that's bad. That's horrible. If a girl, let's just pick on Nala for a minute. You know who Nala is? The OF girl. So let's just say that Nala, let's just take Nala. Nala was an OF girl. She made tons of money. I think her dad or granddad or somebody was a pastor, preacher of some kind. And, she would admit that she knew what she was doing wrong, but hey, the money's so good, blah, blah, blah. She met some dude, made her want to change her life. Also, I think her OF started kind of slowing down.
Is that what happened? She met someone? Is that what?
That seems to be the thing, is that she met somebody who is a real Christian guy, and he wouldn't have anything to do with her if she didn't come back into the fold, so to speak.
Yeah. Okay.
And so, she did the whole thing. Now, obviously, it's not. Old Joe says I'm dubious of the official narrative. Sure, I don't know. Look, I think that what happened is that she wanted to date this guy. Probably got probably just people fall in love. I mean, it sounds corny, but people do. Wanted to have a relationship. Guy wouldn't have it until she came back to the fold, and she did it in mostly in the most, what's the word I can think of here? In the most, not asinine. Asinine's really not the right word.
Public?
Suspect way possible. Like rather than go to a small church and where nobody knows who she is and or maybe just a few people knew who she was, she went to a very famous Hollywood church that baptized people. Basically, you can just walk in and say, hey, I want to be baptized, and there you go.
Right. Like essentially it appears that this is another, one could say, publicity stunt, right? Especially since she's continued her online career. She's still a content creator. She's still posting, thirsty videos on X, aka Twitter, and she's getting a lot of attention. I mean, we're even talking about her right now, and we barely know anything about the girl until this, right? So,
well, I mean, she had been on whatever a couple of times, and she had talked. I'd heard her talk before. I'm kind of picking on her
until this. Yeah.
Yeah, you hadn't heard of. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, I find it's just very interesting, right? Like there was a way that she could have done it in a much less dramatic way, but I'm just going to go out and say, hey, that's her personality, blah blah blah, whatever.
Well, that's her money. Yeah.
Yeah, it's her money. She needed to have the most charitable way I can view it is she needed a career after she nuked one career, she needed another one, right? So, whatever.
I mean, honestly, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't give much of a flying fuck, at all. I really don't. I think that it's probably another grift to be logical. To be logical, I
See?
think it's probably another grift, but who am I
Sure.
to judge, and how many shits do I give? Not a lot.
That's kind of where we're at, right?
Right.
Like,
But let me just say that in a couple years, if she goes back, or less or more, whatever, if she goes back
mhm.
to doing OnlyFans content, it won't surprise me. And this could just be one really long grift to elicit the most publicity, attention, followers, and people
Well,
that never did get to interact with her on that platform to get them to interact with her in the future. So whatever.
yeah.
Either way.
I'm not as charitable. Me personally, I think that part of the narrative. I think there's truth to the part of the narrative, right? I think I think she probably met the dude, somewhere not associated with her work. He wouldn't have anything to do with her until she gave up her bullshit OF.
Or
I don't
he's
know.
managing her.
I'm sorry.
Or he's managing her now. I mean,
No,
honestly,
she's still got it with her man. I think she actually is still with her management company. I don't know. I haven't looked into this that deep.
yeah,
But
we'll see.
But my personal viewpoint is that she decided that this is a great time to reinvent myself. This is a good reason, and I can not only get the guy that I want, but I can also rebrand myself and get away from from the OF. But I can use the OF popularity that I have to leverage it into something else. I don't blame her for that. If people can do whatever they can do, whatever. I don't care.
If you've already been all over the internet naked,
Yeah. Why? What's the point,
whatever.
right? Yeah.
Grid, what is this? Why are you assuming this guy is noble for some reason?
I don't assume anything.
I will not have nothing to do with you, woman, because you do OF.
I didn't assume anything. Glenn, calm down. I didn't assume anything. I'm just going by what they said. What they said. What Nala said. Nala and the dude.
She also said on whatever that she lied. So
yeah, I don't care. None of that has anything. That's all irrelevant. I don't care. I gave her the most charitable version of the story I can think of. Right.
That was very terrible.
Yeah, I'm trying. I've been called a dick a lot lately.
Sorry.
So.
I think what it is, like, I really don't care how they met, and nor do I care. I think that it is a good thing that if she did, quit the business before her man, that's a great thing. That's an honorable thing to do. And if he can look past it and it doesn't bother him, then more power to them. Let that couple be great. Let them go.
They are married now.
Doesn't she owe it to him now anyway in the first place? Like if she owes any sort of explanation of her behavior to anybody, it would be her husband.
Yeah. Nobody else matters. Like, if anybody wants to call him a cuck, that's fine. That's their business. But that doesn't mean anything to him.
If nobody else matters, and if she only owes it to him, then why is she posting sexy videos on X and causing all this controversy? You know what I mean? I know, again, for the money and stuff like that, but there's a price that you pay when you're a public figure. Unfortunately, there just is, and that's
I agree with you.
It's
that he's managing.
It's part of the game,
Yeah, I think he's managing her. I think that he's definitely managing her because, like, he would not. What husband would approve like the sexy cake pictures when his wife is just like known as like this redemptive arc of
right?
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, if he approved that, then that's like shows that he lacks wisdom, right? He's not looking out for her best interest.
Yeah, or it really just doesn't bother him actually, and he's in on it. And $10 says in a couple of years she's back on OnlyFans, or
How long do you give her?
I think max 2 years before she's back on OnlyFans. I saw.
Do you think she's popping out kids before?
I've got to be honest with you. That's the one thing that so I would be way more, not on her side, but I would be way more understanding because it's been what 5-6 months since all this happened. It's midsummer, right?
Yeah, probably.
No.
Why is she not knocked up?
She got married last
Glenn.
Oh, Glenn, you kind
That's a great pose, though.
of.
He got married like last December. Oh, why am
Oh,
I
was
frozen?
it?
Yeah,
Oh, interesting.
he got like baptized like last like this January or December as well. Like it was all like bam, 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 and then
I thought it
because she
was
went
later.
on.
I thought it was like March or
Oh,
April that
no,
she got baptized, and
in
then
March. In March is when she went on with Michael Knowles because Pearl and I were out there the week before Nala came out there.
Okay, so she's only 26 years old, Michelle.
Yeah.
So I would say she's doing OnlyFans before she pops out some kids for sure.
Do you think
And
she's
she's
going to
probably,
come back before she hits 30? When do you think she'll pop out the kids? Because that's like going to be the ultimate change.
yeah,
She
but I
turned
mean, I don't
If she
know.
could pop out the kids before, she has longer. But that,
She's only 26. I mean, honestly, she's still
I
got
mean,
like
she
10
did get
years,
married.
10
She
years
had to
of
get married for a reason.
fertility. Yeah.
she's gonna come
So,
back for the MILF edition of her career. you
or
know?
that, like, but there is no guarantee after that point. You never know what's going to happen. even if you lose the weight, like what's going to happen to your tits and I guess she could get plastic surgery. Yeah. I don't know. But regardless, she's only 26 years old. I give it till she's 28, 29. She's doing OnlyFans content again. She's not going to stay away from it. She's still got, literally, she would have 10 solid years of OnlyFans content still left in her. Why would you know what I mean? And if her husband is already okay with all this online hoopla and controversy and the thirst baking videos and the nipples and all this stuff, like, come on, give me a break. Like, whatever. I'm not saying I judge her. Like, I honestly, again, I don't give a fuck, but I'm just looking at it for what it is and what it looks like. If it looks like a duck, if it walks like a duck, if it quacks like a duck, it's probably a fucking duck. Yeah.
I mean, I think it's interesting. I guess I'm shocked that she hasn't already popped out. I mean, if this is the real deal, she should have popped out a
She's
kid.
only 26.
She's on birth control.
2025.
Only 26.
Not now. I know. I had my first kid at 25. I know, but girls aren't really doing that now for the most part. Especially, I mean, who knows? Maybe she'll end up pregnant next month. Who freaking knows? But
if she
let's use. All right. So what about? K2 Keep on Trucking points out accurately that Lily Phillips appears to have gotten knocked up after taking 1,000 cocks. Wonder who the dad is. What about that?
Michelle?
I mean, I don't know.
Stop it.
I'm getting those vibes that like whenever what's his name? Myron Gaines's little counterpart got that Chinese girl pregnant and she wasn't pregnant or maybe was. I'm getting vibes like that. It's a stunt.
I do too. I actually do as well because she was on live on whatever like a week ago and did not show. And then literally like 2 days later, they have this picture of a big swollen belly and all that. And I'm like, nah, come on. Who photoshopped that shit?
I haven't seen that, but yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Glenn has a lovely picture of it posted on the community page. He seems very proud.
It ain't mine. It's not mine. Okay? I've been fixed a long time ago. Okay? I just shoot for sport. Okay? No
It
operation.
could be destiny, though, to be honest.
Wasn't it
Baby
just,
992.
it was just a couple months ago, though. She was
Yeah,
banging all those
it's
dudes.
so fucking not real. It's just funny.
Yeah. I mean, she could have been pregnant and banging all those dudes. Nothing stopping you from doing that, I guess. Interesting.
That seems so risky to do, though. Just on a
I mean, you're banging
biological level. Like, oh.
Michelle. I agree, but this person's already trying to bang 1,000 dudes in like 24 hours.
I don't think she
this
did.
is actually
I think
kind of
it's fake.
exactly what I mean. Like, we don't know that Nala's arc isn't factual, but we obviously Glenn has some things to say.
What?
And then let's see. Then who the fuck? Oh, Lily fucking Phillips. That's it. Well, Lily Phillips is still being a whore and is actually super proud of it. So she deserves all the heat she gets,
It's
and
not
then
heat.
some.
It's not heat if you don't care about it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I
Lily
don't
Phillips
know.
doesn't care about like you guys, anybody calling her a whore or this or that or whatever, because she's making money off of it. She's not trying to be something that people are saying that she's not. Now Nala, she's trying to say that she's this thing, and everybody's like, nah, you're not. You're still a whore. And she's like, well, that's why she's so combative about it, because maybe there is an effort to actually try not to be that way anymore.
Why? And that's what when you and I talked about the last time you and I talked about Nala, that was my point. Is that the only reason I could see, because going on Michael Knowles was kind of a bad move for her unless she's really actually ticked, because it left more people being like, that bitch ain't real, than anything else, right? So I don't know.
I gotta
Yeah,
admit,
I
think
read
it's
that 2K2 keep on trucking. Man, I gotta be honest. Lily Phillips is like off the rails, dude. Like off the rails. So welcome, War Pig Gaming. Thank you for becoming a member. I saw that. So, but yeah, it's really crazy, right? I'm all for. I just don't care about Nala. I guess my thing, and Glenn and I have talked about this many times. I just don't care about Nala, right? Like if she's doing it, great. If she's not doing it, whatever. Did Glenn freeze again?
Yeah, Glenn's having some internet issues.
Yeah, well, he's up at Thor's, so unfortunately, that's just part and parcel.
Mm-hmm.
I hope Thor's. I know he was supposed to come back the other night. Thor obviously was not quite there yet. So hopefully he's doing good, doing better. Yeah, I'm really glad that all of these that we're getting all these visuals from chat. So from all these people. Anson Knowles, no. Lily Phillips is not that hot. Nala also, she's not ugly. She's not like, I don't know.
Do you really think so?
Who?
That Lily Phillips will be a household name?
Oh, I thought you were like, do I really think Lily Phillips
It is
isn't that
not a
hot? Yeah,
household
I absolutely
name,
think.
please.
The hottest
No,
thing about Lily Phillips is her voice. Other than that,
I would hope that
I
Lily
think they
Phillips
both
doesn't
look like I think they both look like the same person.
They do.
And yeah, and they're attractive women. I'm not going to say they're not attractive women. They're not like, Giselle
attractive
Bündchen
is
or
different
anything,
than
but
hot, though.
they're
Attractive is different
what do
than
people
hot,
used
though.
to say, like they're handsome women, like they're
Handsome,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
They're
they're
handsome, all right.
women, like they're okay. Like they're pretty. They're prettier than I am, for sure. But I don't, to say that they'll be a household name, I think is very silly. If I wasn't on
Well,
Twitter or
Anson
YouTube,
is being very silly.
yeah, if I wasn't on Twitter or X or YouTube running around with seedy circles, I would never have heard of these people. I guarantee you, like I could ask my neighbors and they wouldn't know who the
right, and
was,
that's accurate because I didn't know who they were. I didn't know who Lily Phillips was
exactly
at all until she went on whatever, and I was like, whoa, what the fuck?
It's a household name whenever you're in the echo chamber of content of this nature. Then it's a household name and you feel like it's a household name because that's all you're surrounded with. But I'm not trying to sound pretentious or anything, but just
Good
really,
point.
truly, like
No,
outside.
yeah, that's a good point. Get outside.
Get outside.
Go touch
Nobody
some grass.
knows who the fuck Lily Phillips is. Okay?
I was just talking about how I'm going to change my schedule because I'm going to it's getting that time of year where I start I'm out on the boat more, you'll be fishing more, I'm shooting more, all of the things that all my normal hobbies. And unfortunately, the streaming is, we're gonna have to change the schedule a little bit, so be fine. It'll work out. Very interesting. Knowles, Anson, the rebranded Strumpet thing. Good political story, maybe. They give women hope they will have value after they've been run through. Yeah, maybe. I
Sorry to say, but women always have value, even if they've been run through. And I'm not saying that like, ooh, but like honestly, they always do. They will. Um, a ran through woman can still go get married. I could go
Oh
get
yeah,
married if I really wanted to. Like, I'm not saying that to, again, it's not, I'm aware that that is a privilege that probably most men don't have. And I'm also aware that I'm nothing special. I'm not, but I'm a woman. And that is just something that is just a fact of life, I think. So
no, I think you're
there's
right.
still hope after you've been ran
I'm
through.
really,
Like,
I guess,
these women are,
really,
women are like 100,000aires or millionaires, you know, like, I mean, I get it, you know. I'm not saying that they're having the happiest life ever and that it's something that their future children can be proud
yeah.
of, but
Well,
it
I
is
think
what it
Nala,
is. And
Nala,
there's still going to be some dude out there going to marry him, going to wife him up, baby him up. Like, that's just the way it
yeah,
is.
yeah. Like again, Nala made like $9 million.
Yeah, so millionaires, there you go. Like,
Yeah.
Well, she
I
still
mean, I'm
couldn't
not
keep up.
saying
$14
money's
million.
everything, but like,
How much?
14 million, and now she's crying broke.
Hmm.
well,
Yeah.
that's one thing that I've heard just from watching podcasts or listening to podcasts about a lot of the sex workers and OnlyFans models and so on and so forth is that they do obviously make a lot of money, like the really good ones, not all of them, right? Most of them are making like 100 something bucks a month or something, but you know what I mean? But they also blow through that money incredibly fast, living a lifestyle that it's not feasible to keep up with for the foreseeable future, you know. If I'm sure there's got to be some really successful, like, you know, porn actress or OnlyFans model out there that is invested and was able to sit on that money for a
They
really long
always
time.
say that they're investing. You guys, have you ever noticed? So this is interesting, and I didn't until I watched Whatever a few times and listened to what these strumpets say. You will. It is without fail. These women will go on to the panel, and some dude, whoever Brian, will say, "What happens when your looks fade and the money runs out?" Well, I'm investing. I have stock. I have a whole portfolio. I have a whole ass portfolio.
Well, the
I'm
girls that they
investing
have
in
on that
real
show
estate and all that.
have a combined IQ of 200, and there's like how many on the panel? I'm sorry, but and it is good content, and it's fun to watch, but this is
Oh
just
fuck, that was
ridiculous. Like,
awesome.
but these women are not, I don't believe any of these women. Now, to be honest, unless it was, I've met maybe 2 or 3 women my entire life that I think would be good enough with money, numbers, finances, and the market to be able to do that. But most of these women, if they're doing that, they've got a husband or a boyfriend that's managing them, that's doing that shit for them, to be honest. And I have known a few, not known personally, but known of a few uh, that do that their husbands work for them full time managing, but they own a nice home, the home's paid off, like they're doing things like this, and I'm like, okay, I mean that, I mean, again, I personally don't like sex work. I don't want to participate in it, never have, never will, but I don't care, like, if that's what they're doing, if that's how they're getting their money, good on them, you know. But yeah.
Yeah, I hadn't actually. The only reason we kind of veered into the sex work kind of deal was because I was using Nala as an example of someone that most people in the at least in the chat would have heard of, that had a known past, and then
Oh,
gave
that's
that
a hell
up.
of a past, yeah.
Gave that up supposedly, or reputedly, not for her husband, her now husband, and now is you know um, has been baptized, has come when she was super when there were a lot of disparaging remarks made. She actually went back on Michael Knowles and said, I don't understand why people can't just not talk about me. Like I'm not trying to be out here, but she is obviously.
She says,
Yeah.
I'm Michael Knowles. Okay.
Yeah. Well, some people have better platforms than others.
Let me bring up the problem with why people have an issue with Nala. She made her porn career about her, and then now she made her change to her religious, acceptance about her. It's not about God anymore. It's not about Jesus. It's about her, and so it's always been about her. So they're really, that's why people have such a hard time with the change, because there's lack of humility. It's always about her when she's talking. When I was on OnlyFans, I was a top earner. I made X amount of money, right? And then it's like, now that she's a Christian, well, I'm a Christian, and nobody believes me. It's like it's still all eyes on her rather than all eyes on your God.
Well, I mean, I think I would honestly, I would probably have the same response. If somebody said, "No, you're not," I'd be like, "But I am, so leave me alone." But she could be lying. I don't know. I don't want to judge that. But I will. I do like this. K2 says if Nala doesn't want to get talked about, then she would delete all her internet presence. That's impossible. Like that's fit. I mean, like it's out there. Once it's out there, folks, I don't care who tells you can delete your entire internet life. They lying. And somebody's going to find that shit. It's out there.
She could quit posting though, but
I do know the one thing.
That's her career, yeah.
The one thing that's interesting, and I forget what show I heard this on the other day. I'm trying to think, because it was some stupid whore talking about how she could just delete her entire account and just nobody would know. And the interviewer was like, "Are you crazy? Like, do you not understand how this works? Do you think your material hasn't been down? Like, what's behind the girl's like, well, it's behind a paywall. Can't get to. You got to pay. You got to have all. It's behind all the security. Like, there are literal groups that share passwords and stuff. Like, they've downloaded your shit already. Like, everything you've ever done has been down. Total fucking denial. Like, for whatever reason, I honestly don't think she was as stupid, but for whatever reason, totally convinced that at a push of a button, she could delete her entire electronic past. And we all know that differently. Come on, the internet's forever.
Was she pretty young? Was this?
I don't remember. And actually, I think I was listening to it in a car anyways. I didn't actually see who it was. I was listening to a podcast while I was driving. But it was crazy. Yeah, people leak out videos all the time. Ghost, yeah, absolutely, that's right. So I was really more concerned with the idea of redemption and why, for whatever reason, and we've seen it. We see it right now. The idea that somebody says, "Yep, I changed the way I look," and people are like, "Prove it." Which that's actually a fair ask. I don't really, and they can say they can say, "Yeah, I don't want to prove it to you. I don't need to prove it to you." Also fair. But we're not picking on anyone, but we actually had a member of our audience.
We can't hear you,
Glenn. Anyway, there was a member of our audience, even a member of my staff at one point, and his entire viewpoint was once a whore, always a whore. There's no redemption. He hates the idea that women might actually have sex.
Yeah.
Other than their husband. And he one of many. Mm-hmm. I see it in my own chat. Glenn? Well, Glenn's gone. And it is actually hate, right? Like it's actual festering black hate for whatever reason.
It's anger, it's hate, it's vile. It's a very strong feeling and emotion. And a lot of the men in these spaces online do tend to have that attitude.
And I'm referencing this as being puritanical, and that would seem to imply that that requires a religious component, but I don't actually think it does. I think that there are people who, even if they're atheists, they and their weird sense of morality, to them, a woman that's had a sexual history is irredeemable. A man that has had a sexual history is probably irredeemable, right? All the time I tell people that I was a degenerate for a long time. I know Glenn now hates that word, but I'm using it in its proper context, that I knew what I was. I knew what I was doing. Does that why is it that there's this very real, palatable, or not really palatable, but you can sense it, undercurrent of dislike, hate, mistrust, whatever word you choose to use, especially aimed towards women who have maybe they made mistakes. Maybe they had a hoe phase in college and they changed their evil ways. You know?
I think it's a combination of several things, but not necessarily like it's like an and or situation, right? Like either or all of the above. A lot of it is jealousy and anger that they are not able to do the same for some of the men. A lot of it
jealousy.
is,
Okay. Yeah. I like jealousy. Yeah.
jealousy, anger that they are not the ones able to do this, or that they weren't able to. I don't know. It's just this envy, I guess, even would be a better word than jealousy, even though they're kind of synonyms. But I'd say more envious, like envious, And
Envy.
then,
Envy is actually an actual sin.
right? I think
it's one of the bad ones.
Seven Deadly, or I don't know, but but anyways, I think one of the reasons could be envy, and then another reason, and this is sensitive topic for a lot of guys in this space, but I have just found it to be just through my own anecdotal experience, talking to so many people over the last several years in these spaces, like a psychopath. I have seen over and over again that there's also a lot of either or mother issues. Their mother was a whore. Their mother was something, just like women have daddy issues and men have mommy issues. It's either that or girlfriend, spouse, their spouse cheated, their spouse did this,
Have
that.
either of you
So it's a sense of betrayal.
Have either of you ever had that experience where a dude or several dudes or random dudes who don't even know a single fucking thing about you judge you
Just online?
just online?
Yeah,
it's primarily
really.
online. Yeah, or like some sort of sexual market, like Tinder or something like that. Then they
Online still, but yeah.
online. It's still online.
Right.
Generally, guys in person are pretty chill, helpful, benevolent.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, guys online are actually pretty awful.
Do you think that it's because in person it's just harder to be that big a dick?
Absolutely. Harder to be, but also I think that the truth is that is the demon that is seething and lying below the surface. That actually in person, they're a complete and total, utter fucking simp. And if you accept them and they're able to get in your good graces, then they will not be that troll
Oh, I
nasty
like that. I like
dude.
that, Ashley.
And it's
Let
true.
me ask
Online,
you.
they get to be that guy. Online, they
Mhm.
get to be that guy. But in real life, in front of the almighty powerful pussy, they are not that guy.
Yeah. Let me
And
ask
I'm
you,
not,
Ashley.
again, remember I said I'm not special. I am post-wall and blah, 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 prattle. Like, I'm all those things, okay? I don't care. It's a fact.
Yeah, let me ask you, Ashley. I think I know what Michelle would say, but I don't know you as well. But
A smoking spaceman, I was not able to finish my points, but that was a point. But I still think that they're tied.
I'm sorry. You can finish your point. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I was just, yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. I like StreamYard because I can choose to not read the chat. And on this format, like I can't help it. It's right in my face. And I'm a habitual, like,
you can
cereal
move the chat
boxes
off
and
to where you can't see it.
I don't know if
Hit
I
the
can.
private part if you don't want to see it,
Oh, there we go.
and then you can
Nope.
just see what I
Or you
say.
can just
No,
click the blue thing where it says chat and it takes chat away.
It's
he
not.
doesn't want to deal with you fuckers.
It literally just says more, and when I click more, it just
Oh, she's on her phone.
yeah, I'm on my phone.
Oh, you're on your phone. I
Yeah.
got you. Okay.
So I
Yeah,
can't.
I'm not
It's like
familiar with
right
the phone
there. I'm
side of
so
it.
sorry. That was so rude and ADD of me to interrupt like that.
It's totally okay. So totally okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you were making some good points there. So I've several times stated I think that the term simp is overused, and especially it seems like if we're going to confine it to online, people like to act really different than they actually are in person online. And one of those ways is one of the things that I find super interesting is I believe that the anonymity of being online gives especially men this cloak that they use to say things they would never fucking say in person, like calling another dude a simp because he's nice to women, because he's not rude to them, or he doesn't, whatever, or he,
Yeah, especially when it's a dude like that guy would never go up and say anything to that
yeah.
guy ever in a million years to his
There
face.
is a big difference between simping and compliments. Ghost 1978. But as we have talked about several times on this show, we all know that basically anytime you're nice to a woman now, you're simping. Stop being a simp. I find that fucking hilarious. Like, I really do. I really, really do. I think it's awesome on a couple levels. But I'm sorry, I digress. Ashley, you said a couple of things that I found that were really interesting, and I think that they're worth kind of exploring a little bit. And that is that in real life, the men that go after women online and call them sluts or whatever, irredeemable, whatever, fucking whatever, I don't know. But those men in real life are probably struggle to even talk to women.
I think the really hardcore ones, absolutely, yeah. I've seen a few different groups of those men, but
I'm being very broad stroke here. Like, I don't normally use such blanket statements or stereotyping. I'm just doing it tonight for the fuck of it, to be honest. And it's very interesting to me. It's very interesting. The reason that this is such an interesting thing to me, because we're going to talk about men next week and how when men fuck up, not online, but in person, a lot of times women never forgive them for it, and for small things. And I've never understood that. Right. But men have men have a different set of problems. So that's going to be a different show. But this show, I really wanted, and I've enjoyed talking about this because I just find it so ironic. right? That I find it so ironic that you watch a show like Whatever that tries to teach some masculinity. It gets interpreted in a way that isn't really necessarily healthy, right? But at the same time, if you don't, it's a balancing act, right? Ashley, do you get that? It's a balancing act where we don't
It
want
is.
to just, you don't want to just not care that this girl is out railing 100 dudes at a time, but at the same time, you don't really. Why is it any of your business unless you're the one fucking her that she has a bunch of bodies on her? Does that make her less of a nice person?
Because it's
Is
content. Because there are that many angry, typically men in the chat that will pay good money to hear the likes of Andrew Wilson. I like Andrew too. I think he's a lot of great things. I have liked him for years, but to hear the likes of Andrew Wilson tear them down and kind of give them that dose of reality, you know what I mean? It's like, but at the same time, you also have to remember that much like, the Fresh and Fit show before it was demonetized, these same men that are paying for these huge super chats, these dono chats to say something really hateful and mean to roast these girls, these same, I super chat too. So I'm also guilty, not on those shows, but like on other shows too. You know what I mean? Like we all do it,
I don't
these
know
same
if
men
you
that are doing
know
that,
I don't
of
know if you
them,
know the depths of the super chats that I've made.
I
But we could
don't,
talk
but
about that. We could
we
talk
can.
about that.
But a lot of these same men that are paid subscribers to this show, whatever podcast, as well as Fresh and Fit previously, and paying these dono chats, so on and so forth, they're also subscribing to these girls' OnlyFans accounts, and they are following their Instagrams, TikToks, etc. So these same men that are so angry and volatile and hateful towards these women, they're then paying these women. They're then paying to see them naked and to do these things. So
See, I've heard that.
it's the
I've heard
Ouroboros.
that a
It's
couple of
really,
times,
oh, it's
but
absolutely true. Several of these girls say as soon as they get
I mean,
done
I
doing
know that they
shows,
say it, but
oh, they
but
wouldn't do it
hold
if
on,
they
hold
didn't
on,
get money
hold
out of it. Trust
hold
me.
on, hold on. The interesting thing is that Brian's actually been sued because these OnlyFans girls have gone on there and look like idiots, and their memberships have dropped.
My apologies. I was mostly referring to Fresh and Fit podcasts when
Oh,
I was
okay,
saying that
yeah.
part of it.
Sorry, yeah.
My apologies for that.
No,
But
no worries, no worries.
I suspect that a lot of these girls do get subscribers and things like that as well on Brian's show. But I don't know the depth. I don't know all the ins and outs of his
Well,
show.
I will give you this.
My apologies.
I will give you this, Ashley. So a couple of weeks ago, now I don't watch Whatever that much anymore.
I really only watch it if there's like a person I'm interested in on there talking, like a guest.
Yeah, I don't have the time anymore. Those are, unfortunately, it's just the. There's like a, and I told Brian this. There was like a very specific sweet spot in my schedule where I was able to watch it a lot, and then and that's that has gone. That period of time has passed, but I was able to catch some of it about a week or two ago, and it had Andrew on there, and I believe it was with the four sex workers of some kind. I think Lily Phillips was on there. There was Ava something, and some others. And Andrew's chat was pushing him to just roast these girls. Well, the problem is that it doesn't do Andrew any good to roast them if they're just being who they are. What can you really say, right? He comes off as a dick.
Correct. Yeah.
he comes off as a dick and a bully, and they come off as, hey, I'm just trying to be me, right?
Yeah.
And so he would and what Andrew is very good at, and I think it's really good that Brian involved him with the show and has learned. And of course, Brian was okay at this before, but Andrew's up the level, and that is that Andrew goes after their worldviews. He goes after the justification
Yeah.
of the acts, right? The feminism, the I'm going to boss babe, I'm going to get my bag. He goes after those things and not the fact. I mean, obviously, he will throw it in their face that they're getting railed like like the Santa Fe freight line, but
he'll do it in a way, basically, he does it in a way where he asks them a series of questions to try to get to the logic of why they think what
Right.
they think, to break it down.
And
it is interesting to watch.
From my worldview, right, and the super chats that I sent, I would literally just remind these girls that what they were doing was evil in some way, and that they were going to hell. Especially the ones that were actually like spouting bullshit, and I'm like, hey, doesn't bother me. You're the one going to hell.
There are some just vile, yeah.
And then I would tell my super chats generally had something to do with them. What they're doing is not working. So come back to the patriarchy and get rid of feminism, and life will be better. That's how I would approach things, because again, I'm challenging their worldview. I'm not calling that, and I would call him an idiot, or I would say, hey, you're being an, whatever. But just trying to make fun of them for being a sex object is dumb.
Yeah.
They don't make themselves a sex object. Men makes them a sex object. And I can't change all the men in the world. I don't have any real predisposition to do so. I like pretty women,
who doesn't, right?
But at the same time, I think that worldview, and I applaud Andrew, to be honest with you, that he really works hard. He really has to get pissed at a specific person to really go after that. He rarely ever goes after them personally. He always goes after the worldview. He always goes after what's your justification for doing this? Well, your justification sucks and you shouldn't do it.
Yeah, he's a true debater at heart.
Yeah. But the thing is that people have come to equate that with dunking on these women, and they get upset when Andrew isn't dunking on these women. And worse is that they see what he does as kind of dunking, and I'm using dunking as like
no, I got you, yeah.
A catch-all phrase. People see that as calling them out, calling them on their bullshit, whatever, right? But that's Andrew doing it. Unless you were doing the same thing, you're probably not going to do it very well. You probably shouldn't be doing it, right? Like, worry about your own, worry about your own bullshit. Worry about the fact that
that's the polarity of the show. You've got the people that are very, that get very incensed over, these women being belittled, and so you've got the whole feminist arc, or not arc, you got the whole feminist audience there. And then you've got, a lot of the men coming in like, oh, these girls need to learn a lesson. And then you've got the men coming in, the 304s, you've got it all going on. And you've mainly got, not all, but I think the majority, if you read the comments and such, you've mainly got a group of people that really just either want to get angry over something, or like to see something they're angry at, someone or a demographic, that they're angry at, get theirs. That's kind of the whole premise of the show, which I watched a couple of episodes and I was like, all right, like I've basically seen every episode ever. Cool. Minus like if there's actually there's been times where there have been a panel of good guests. Brian's hosted one of my very favorite abortion debates ever. Yeah, it was such a good. He's done some really good stuff with that. But I
Yeah.
don't care for the whole, I'm a 19-year-old OnlyFans model and I want a man that makes $10 million a year. And I don't think there's anything wrong with what I'm doing. My mom and dad are very proud of me. Like, I'm just not, interested in watching that 10,000 times personally. But
Yeah.
hey, you know what? Kudos to Brian, though. I mean, he got an algorithm, a formula rather, and it works, and he's doing well, and he's managed to stay within community guidelines and keep his channel monetized. Well, he's managed to keep his channel monetized. Is it
Kind of.
not?
He
It
gets
wouldn't surprise me because I feel
very
like that's the direction that it's all going, which
he gets kicked
pisses me
down
off,
quite a
by the
bit.
way. But
Yeah, he gets kicked down quite a bit.
really,
Yeah, like they'll demonetize specific videos and then he'll have to
that's
go in and
bullshit.
change them. And then
That's just such bullshit. I get that it's a privately owned company and we're on it right now, I guess, but it's just such bullshit. That is just such an encroachment of freedom of speech. And there are some content creators
most
that
of my
I just absolutely abhor, that I'm still mad that they're not monetized anymore. Pearl Davis is one. I think it's bullshit.
she'll
She's
never
not
be monetized. There's no way they're going to remonetize
No,
her.
I know. I mean, and granted, she was a moron about things, but still, free speech, and even Fresh and Fit. I'm upset that they're not monetized. I thought that was crap, So what, But you can see that in
Yeah,
my
they push the
opinion.
line really hard though.
I think that that's kind of a political agenda, the way that they go with who they
So
choose to monetize and demonetize, and
well, so YouTube personally isn't doing it. The algorithm does it, and it does it based on the words that are used, which Brian can't control his guess. Like
right, but
he,
YouTube, but that's a cop out. YouTube, I understand that it's AI. I understand that it's AI that they've developed because it's too huge of a platform with too many followers, with too many subscribers, with too many creators to be able to feasibly monitor it, with an actual human workforce. But at the same time,
sure,
it's still their responsibility, and
right,
they're
but here's the
still.
deal.
It's
So
just bullshit.
this is what goes on with Brian. This goes on with me as well, not as much, but it still happens. So what'll happen is like my daytime videos, which I tone down a lot. Still, the second I hit enter when I do my monetization, it'll instantly put it into the limited category of the monetization.
Why?
And my cost per minute goes way down. I
Why?
don't
Right?
know. I think it's a subject matter. I think it's I don't know.
Exactly.
I
The
have no fucking
subject
clue.
matter. I really.
But my nighttime shows, which are far more raunchy, and we have had some real, like we have flirted. I flirt with TOS all the time. Like I know really right where the limit is, and I run right up against the red line
Pardon me.
sometimes. And but they'll be green, totally no problem. But my
Do
cents
you
per
think
minute.
that it has something to do with like you said? Are you talking videos? Do you mean live streams or posted recorded videos?
Oh, live streams. I don't do
Live
any.
streams. Okay, so I think it does have to do with the time of day that it's being shown. Genuinely, just like think about regular syndicated television, right? Even 20 years ago, like during the day, you've got your soft programs, your family, your talk shows, your things like this, and at night you've got your more kind of raunchy, like not even raunchy, but just a little bit more, what's the word my grandmother always used? It always cracked me up. Racy, like you're a little bit,
Racy.
you're racier, like even like shows like Cheers, right? I love Cheers, but shows like Cheers, that was at night. It was in a bar. There were sexual innuendos. Like
Sure.
it's always kind of the same. So I think that make sense.
Well, so a couple of things. So Clover Tack is coming unglued in the chat because he's a YouTube. He's really he's done deep dives into YouTube. So here's the thing.
Oh, no, that's true.
I don't monetize my lives until after I've done them, usually. So there are no ads during my streams. I don't. It's only afterwards that I do the monetization. It's the daytimes are almost always yellow. The night times are almost always green. I don't know why. It's not like the time of day matters. And sometimes I'll forget and not do it for a day or two. But I don't know what it is.
I said the thing about the time of day was just because it made logical sense.
Yeah, no, it
worded it that way.
I would have thought so too, but I have no idea why it does that way. Also, the time of day is not a good thing. Yeah, that's true. But it's I think it's because I only do live, and so I don't know why that's a thing. Anson Knowles did want to remind us before I forget about all those men, all those women are some poor man's daughter. That's true. And that's why I try and be nice to most of them. I don't know, guys, but Brian does get like not heavily he says heavily demonetized, but his cent per minute is low. So a lot of times. Yeah, but
how many subscribers does his channel have now?
Like 3 million or 4 million, something like that.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, so he's making some decent money off of monetization.
Oh yeah. He's doing very well.
That's awesome. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, he's not like me, slumming it with like 13.9K.
So. Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't streamed in almost, I don't know. We're closing in on a year now since I quit live streaming. I made all my stuff private. I just didn't. I got out of the game, man. But I still gained like not streaming at all or posting anything at all, and I still gained like 350 subscribers like in the last like 6 months. I think it's from Twitter. I think it's from my ex, honestly.
Wow.
I think, that's nothing at all, but I'm just saying, like, I literally just thought it was funny. I noticed that the other day that I went up to like 1.45K, and I was like, I'm not even using this account anymore. That's so funny. But
yeah, there's just the way the algorithms work, right? Hey, Michelle's back. Welcome back, Michelle.
Sorry.
Totally okay. It's totally fine. Totally.
I finally got my dogs to stop fighting. So.
Oh, good.
Yeah. I had to put them in separate crates. Like they're being so bad today. But I'll talk to you about that later. Sorry.
That's okay. All right. So, I lost that. We got into the YouTube thing. Oh, the Brian thing.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. The Brian thing.
Topic, though, it's fascinating to me.
Yeah, the Brian thing is interesting, because he has way more patience than I would.
He really does, actually. He really does. I'll give him that. Yeah. Like at the very worst, he'll kind of be like, oh, which like somebody could become a little bit incensed by, but like it's not.
He spazzed out a few times, but it's not like.
Well, but for the most part, you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
But when he spazzes out, I mean, it's something he probably should have spazzed out about. So. But yeah, so the thing about, and I didn't mean to pick on whatever, I was using it as an example, and we just kind of, it is a great example though, because it is a place where I have personally, called a bunch of women who are doing very questionable things in life and making bad decisions, out on making bad decisions. But that is not that's not really the same as if the if the person on the screen was saying, I'm leaving all of that behind. I've changed. Here's my proof I changed. I joined a church. I did this. I did that. I don't have anything to prove to you, but these are my good works, and take them or to leave them. I don't care.
Yeah.
Because honestly, whatever's not really a format for that. I don't think I've ever heard that. That would be interesting if it happened.
I mean, maybe a little. I could see how it could segue in that direction for sure, but yeah.
Yeah. And
but in real life, in my experience of people who are genuinely contrite over something that at least they and others and or whatever believe to be wrong, right? Or behavior that was wrong that they're correcting, etc. Oftentimes it will start with an apology, if one is warranted. And then other than that, all it is just proving by example, just showing someone by your behavior. There's no going around and boasting or bragging or talking all this talk about how you've changed and what you've done and what you're doing now that you didn't do then, etc. Oh, thank you. But oftentimes it's more from more from actions and not from people that go around boasting and bragging and posting all these videos about what a changed, reformed man or woman that they are. So in real life, meaning not on this internet bullshit, I've never known someone that's really made a serious life change that just goes around, I don't know, kind of promoting it or talking about it all the time. I've just seen former alcoholics that quit drinking, I've seen husbands or wives that cheated on each other stop cheating and be more of a devoted spouse. I've seen kids, high schoolers that were cheating on tests and doing all these nefarious things, stop doing that and try to go by it the honest way, whatever. But you don't see them going around making a big fuss or stink over it if they're truly contrite, if they're truly repentant, in my opinion. I don't know if that was where you were going with that. Sorry. The wine's kicking in.
I'm just asking questions. I'm just interested to hear things. So are you a member of a church by any chance?
No, I am not.
Okay. All right. Do you consider yourself religious or spiritual or just undecided?
I believe in God. Yeah.
Okay. Michelle, what about you?
I'm not.
Michelle's gotten off the hook pretty easy tonight, guys.
Yeah,
to be honest with you.
Like Ashley totally came in and saved me and saved the show. Hold on.
I hear the bird.
Yep, he's gonna have a tantrum because my husband moved him.
I have a hair stuck in my fucking mouth somewhere. I feel like I've been trying to get it for the last hour. I hate that feeling. Sorry.
You're fine.
Squirrel.
Squirrel. That was ADD.
That was like 4 glasses of wine is what that
yeah,
was.
maybe, yeah, that's true. No, I'm not currently part of a church. I have a piece of my church.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I have a piece of my church that I grew up in.
Uh-huh.
And so I have that, but no, I'm not part of any church right now. I don't think I align with any sort of denomination right now, to be perfectly honest. And I don't even think I can even get on board with the Abrahamic God.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't think I can get there. God is truth. I can definitely get down with. But bringing me to Abrahamic Christianity is like a leap that I can't seem to make again.
But do you believe in God?
Yes, there has to be because of,
Yeah.
Moxie, that is not a parakeet. I forget what kind of bird it is, but it's a cool bird.
It's a conure.
I was going to say condor, and I was like,
conure.
That's not right. He's beautiful.
He's very, very beautiful, and he got new feathers recently, so It's very pretty. I got to update pictures soon.
My pets are in their crates like the savages they are.
Ashley's
I
a
should bring
genius and
I
got
should
2
bring them
puppies.
out. I have 2 puppies.
Yeah.
1 second, I'll bring them out. They're horrible and wonderful.
She got those, what do you call those little mini schnauzers?
Oh, I have no idea.
Oh, yeah.
Min
No, they're like those, that schnauzer that comes in like 3 different sizes, I think.
K2, what would you like me to pressure Michelle on? Not really sure. Michelle, do you believe in love after love?
Like share, of course.
I'm sorry, I don't really get that.
I don't either.
But I read it correctly.
Yeah, that's definitely how I said it. It's a share song. Or is it life after love? Fuck, I need to look at the lyrics now.
He'll
What
clarify.
does the share song believe? Is it life after love or
I
love
don't
after
know.
love now?
I haven't heard a Cher song since 1982.
Damn it, it's gonna drive me crazy.
So, yeah.
Okay, it is love after love. I'm not crazy.
Ask Michelle more questions. Get her. Oh, put the pressure on her. Oh, I see. You've had it too easy tonight. That's what it is. Yeah. I've had it too easy tonight. You have actually, Ash.
I have. I totally
Ashley
passed
and
it off to
Glenn here.
Ashley.
You were just able to just kind of be very quiet. So, Moxie Whites is in the house. Moxie is full of moxie. Shockingly.
I think what happens is when I get into planning the shows backstage, I get like all of my talking about a particular subject out. And then by the time the show happens, I'm like, good, I've already said what I wanted to say about it. So I'm not the best panelist. Oh my God. They're crazy.
They're happy
those,
to be.
those
They were
dogs
in their
are psycho.
Psycho dogs.
No,
I have a
they've been in their
husky.
crate, and they're only 5 months old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a husky, and she is she's 7 years old now, so she's big. She's a big dog.
See how quick they calm down, though? Like, they're really good. They just want to love me, but they're like, okay, shh, hey.
That white one is so wild.
I know, she really is. She's got an overbite, too. It's so funny. Her tongue's just always like a little bit like.
That's cute. There's no redemption for that dog.
No. Stop.
It's over.
No.
All the dog people in the house tonight. I think Moxie has a dog. I forget.
I love my dogs. They're so sweet. The potty on command thing is working because that's what took me so long. Like, we just did it. I was like,
told you.
You're not getting on my lap until you do it. So.
Mm-hmm. When you have little dogs, potty on command is way easier than potty outside for whatever reason.
Yeah.
They just.
I mean, we potty outside all the time too, but they're so little they can't hold it to get out of the crate and even make it to the door sometime to wait for me to put the leash on. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. I know.
This is what girls do.
That's
what we
very
talk about.
strange. What is it? Imperius, did Moxie hit CT? Does that would be news? Are you abusing Chaotic Truth?
Imperius is crazy.
Imperius is a little nuts, but he's generically he's good on this channel.
Oh no, I've known Imperius for a few years, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, he spazzes out of most places. He's been banned a lot of places, but
I've banned him from my Discord like twice.
It takes a lot to do that too. You don't ban anybody from Discord.
I don't ban anybody, and I don't block anybody ever. But like, quit.
Let me. Did I address that question? I don't know that I did. Let's see. We'll let you guys address this. How about this? The smoking spaceman comes up with it.
Did Grid address the question I asked the other night about redemption for those who have wronged you directly? Okay. I don't know if you addressed it, Grid. What do you think about those who have wronged you directly? Are they like dead to you at that point? Do they get a second chance? How many chances? Are you
Actually, pretty
forgiving?
forgiving. I'm actually
Yeah.
pretty forgiving. Although I do really have that like point where I just don't care anymore. Even if we've made our, like, generically, the way this tends to go is if somebody does something to me directly, once we have it sorted out, that's it. Like I'm done. I won't, I'm not going to interact or whatever at all. And that's just the way I deal with things. I think everybody has their own way of dealing with those kind of things. You guys, for example, probably have far different ways of interacting with people who have wronged you directly.
The way I see it, there are like 3 options once somebody kind of wrongs you. There's peace, forgiveness, you guys work it out, and there has to be a willingness on both sides to do that. There is war, in which you escalate, and both parties escalate accordingly. And then there's fuck off, in which case you just, go ahead and fuck off.
Sure.
And I love the fuck off option. Every now and then, every now and then the war comes out, but generally I'm pretty chill. So just depends.
Yeah. So what do you think? So, because it's been some good conversation about the redemption. I actually expected this to be a little bit more tumultuous topic, but we all seem to pretty much kind of agree. So of course Glenn wasn't here to spice it up, so just be.
I usually spice things up, but I just.
Oh, you've done very well.
Okay, thanks.
You've done very well. Yeah, forgive but never forget. That's kind of the same thing. What about you, Ashley? What about people who have wronged you directly? How do you deal with that?
I agree with you. I am also like really a very forgiving person. I tend to get over things fairly quickly, and give multiple chances, probably more than I should a lot of times, which I've learned the hard way a couple times, But like with friends and with stop. And my dogs, no, with friends and my own sister and like family members and stuff. But I don't know. I just don't have it in me to hold grudges, really. I don't know. I just get over things pretty freaking easily for the most part. And I do like to forgive, even if it's serious stuff. Because and I know this is so cliche, but I always say cliches are cliches for a reason. But you forgive them for yourself, not for them. So forgiving something very egregious and being able to move on from that genuinely within your heart is for you as the forgiver, more so than the person that you're forgiving. And if you think about it that way, it's much easier to do. It's how I forgave my certain family members for things growing up that happened and different things. Like, what good is it doing me? Holding on to grudges and anger, it's like drinking poison, wanting the other person to die. And that's just ridiculous. It doesn't make sense. You're literally just poisoning yourself constantly over something that they did to you. You're the one being tortured, and there's no reason. So forgiveness is very important, I think, for yourself.
Okay. All right. I can go with that. We've reached the final hour, and what we'll do is I'm going to partially open the panel up.
I'm good with that.
If you want to come up, guys, get a hold of a mod. Imperious, I got to think about whether I'm letting you up here with both Michelle and Ashley. I don't I don't know.
He
I got to
doesn't
think
get
about
under
that.
my skin anymore like he used to. I've had too many Discord fights with that guy.
Yeah, we're both pretty cool with Imperious. He's fine.
Are you? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll think
If
about
he starts his
it.
bullshit, I just tune out. He's got to find new prey to take.
If anybody just wants to hit me up in Discord directly to get the link faster, I can probably do that a little more systematically now.
Mr. Mister says he's on his revenge arc, so he holds grudges.
Hey, I do it. Michelle, I love your lighting, by the way. Like, you look
Thank
so
you.
like I mean this in a good way, but this what you remind me of is like my fish tank. I have the blue and purple. I have the blue and purple lights on right now in my fish tank, and like you have the same ambiance going on.
Uh-huh. Oh,
It's
you know how
either
I
that
feel
or
about the blue and purple and
do
like
what?
no pink. You know how I feel about colors.
I know. Yeah. I have the remote control. You know me and my fish tanks. I get serious with. I have 2 fish tanks, and I'm very serious about them.
I'm going to respond to K2 here. He cannot forgive people who you go to pass, you're governed, and then while you're passing them, they decide to speed up. I get it, man. I get it. I actually, in the state of Tennessee, we're such a great state. It's against the law to be in the left lane unless you are actually passing someone, and you will get a ticket for that. It's great. I still see semi trucks racing each other up the hill all the time. So
Turtle races.
yeah, turtle racing. So that's what it is. Yeah. That's okay, K2. I know you're working tonight, so. But yeah, if somebody wants to come up, that'd be great. Silvar, I had never thought about that, right? But Furby and Imperius are 2 sides of the Dark Triad. We're just missing that last piece.
I don't know who Furby is, but good lord.
You don't know who the Furby is?
No.
You are
but I
so
know
fortunate.
who the
You are
Imperius
very
is, and
fortunate.
if that's the case, then
You are exceptionally fortunate. While we're waiting for people to come up, I want to say it's been great having you 2 on the show tonight. It's been way calmer than I thought. I really, I had anticipated like way more drama, but it's been very,
save the
very
drama for your
chill.
llama.
Very chill.
I couldn't like put the drama together with the people because people are busy. Yeah.
Yeah, the drama people, chat. You can drop L's in the chat for me. All the drama people that we had lined up, they all don't want to be on my show. They don't like me. My face, I think I'm ugly, and they just don't want to be in my. They just didn't want to be on the show, man. Just go ahead and drop those L's. I took the L because
stop.
They just bailed. They bailed.
No.
Bailed hardcore. I'll take the L. But that's okay.
I was gonna say that too. This particular subject just wasn't like crazy for me. One of those things I get like all fired up about. But there are subjects I do, and if you ever have or want a good panelist for some of those topics, I'll have Michelle kind of liaison between us, because I can be a spicy panelist, believe it or not. But it's just got to be, I don't know, the right topic for me. But I can get I like debate quite a bit. I love debate.
Yeah. We don't debate here. So this is, think of this channel as the Continental. No business gets done here. It's just discussions. We don't, there's no blood sport allowed.
No, it's not about blood sport, though. But when you say a spicy discussion, what makes a spicy discussion?
Well,
it is
actually,
more
it was
than one
really
person,
looking more towards not necessarily. Spicy is not the right word, but enthusiastic, right? Like or contentious, right? Like we've had some really good discussions on the on this show, and Imperius has given us some of them. But
that's what I mean. Like I'm not talking about again like blood sport debating. I'm talking a healthy. Okay, so a healthy discussion, I guess. What you would call a healthy discussion is what I'm referring to as a debate.
Yeah.
Depending on the topic, I can engage in a very. I might have some controversial points of view, but I'm not gonna. Whatever.
Moxie Whites, you're welcome to come up here, and then it'll be 3 women on the chat at one time.
Moxie. Oh man, she's I don't know, maybe she's changed.
Ash just says it. Ash just like speaks her mind, and I love it. It's so
No,
funny.
it's true. Like
I
she used
know.
to start a bunch of drama and shit, and like just did a bunch of weird stuff with like
Who's
people.
this?
Moxie Wits.
Oh,
Is it the same
Yeah.
Moxie? Because I don't even know.
Only
I
Moxie
don't
Wits
know.
I know of.
Oh, okay.
She seems
Maybe
like
not. Is she
Yeah, she
like
seems
kind of a woman probably around, I don't know, mid to late 40s, early 50s? I have no
Two girls,
idea.
one dude.
At this time, she was married to like a dude that is like, I don't know, wealthy pretty much. She likes, I do too, so I'm not judging, likes to drink her wine in the evenings and get a little, and
No,
sometimes,
that'll take a
likes
big
to,
swig now, as you just said it.
right, exactly. I'm not judging, I'm doing
I
the same
know.
thing, but
Oh.
it has to be the same person. I don't know. Yeah. No, I mean, I think Moxie's cool, or I thought Moxie was cool. She just attacked a friend of mine, I thought, in a very, like, really just nasty way for no reason. But it's the internet. People do that.
I'll check
Yeah,
it out.
that's true.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Always talk it out.
No.
No. Okay.
Yeah. No. It was,
I'm shocked Flow State didn't stop
you remember
by.
Angela Knight?
Oh yeah.
It was her. She
Oh,
just
okay.
started this whole campaign against Angela, and I just thought it was really immature and stupid. That's drama crap, I know. Blah. But if it's the same Moxie, that's.
The dog is so wild.
I know. She's Dobby. I mean, Kimchi's just down here chilling, and this one's like. Yeah, I think we know the real reason why no one wanted you. Oh, I just read her paperwork thoroughly for the first time today, and it says she has a severe overbite.
That's fine.
What?
I got the retard dog.
You really
Sorry, but
did.
it's true. She's just like, her tongue's hanging out of her mouth. Look at her, just like, she's asleep, and she'll just be like, oh, it's just so obnoxious. I'm going to give you back. I'm going to give you back. Is Imperius not wanting to come up after all of that?
Oh, he does. He does. But I don't. I haven't. I see. I control the panel pretty tightly.
Oh yeah, I respect
Not
that.
not a super open panel. Who? I lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
Thank you for re-upping, Silvar Ogre.
God, I have no idea.
Got my emojis. Did I lose my emojis? I hate when I lose my emojis.
Moxie, you can come up and talk like a human.
Yeah, Moxie, you can come up, and I might be wrong about who you are, even on. And
No,
if I am,
probably
I'm
not.
sorry.
Probably not.
Probably not. Yeah, but it's fine.
But
We don't have to.
That's
talk about
okay.
that.
Moxie
Whatever.
is Moxie. Moxie is Moxie.
Moxie, yeah. See, exactly. Come on up, Moxie. Let's have a chat.
Not interested. Okay, that's fine.
Okay, then shut the fuck up.
Imperius says she's a vampire.
Shut the fuck up, then, Moxie. Not interested.
Passive aggressive. Who cares?
I don't mind, I don't mind that, but it's like, if I'm not willing to come up on a panel and I'm being like invited to or whatever, I cease talking shit in the chat. It's just like a whole, you know what I mean? It's like the whole thing.
She hasn't really been talking shit though.
I'll just stop, you know?
Yeah. It's an interesting night, that's for sure.
No, she was talking shit. She left a shit talking comment, and now she won't come up. And that's fine.
Yeah. We talk shit on Saturday nights. Saturday nights is shit talking night.
No,
What
I
shit talking did you
technically
guys
started
do?
it, and I wasn't advised of the rules before I got on here.
No, you're okay to talk shit. We can talk shit through the week. It's just that Saturday night is when we really unload. Clover Tech, why don't you come up? I'm going to redecorate my studio tomorrow, and you're going to really like it. I would have had it for tonight, but it got here late. So.
No.
This is so true.
Yeah, I
What's
know.
that?
I saw that comment too.
I know. I've said very dumb things on stream before. Just been like, oh my God.
Just white, because there was too much silence, too much wine, and too much moxie. And shit happens.
Grid said he wanted a ladies' night. I tried. This is how it came out.
I didn't actually say I wanted a ladies' night.
You didn't. No, you didn't.
Glenn did.
Yes, Glenn did.
Glenn said ladies' night.
Yeah, well, Glenn always wants a ladies' night. So, go figure. Where did he go, by the way?
I don't know. I think Thor is not in the best condition right now.
Yeah.
Feel bad for Glenn and Thor, obviously, but I feel bad for Glenn. So.
Yeah, he's dealing with a lot of that.
Yeah, it's interesting when real life starts interfering with your hobbies.
Oh, right.
You got to be there for the people who are important to you, though.
It's true. That's true. My buddy that was on the other night, Eugene, he hit me up Monday or Tuesday, and he's like, I did something that there's no way you would have guessed I would have done. I'm like, what'd you do? I went to church on Sunday. I'm like, really? He's been pretty anti going to church, but he's in like, I know so many people right now that are in this funk, right? Like they're making enough money, they do pretty well, but their relationships are all garbage.
No.
They're just borderline depressed, and it's wild to me, right? And I talked to this realtor I know the other day. This guy's actually a really good realtor, man. Like he's really good. I think he's turning into an alcoholic, and I think he's about to lose his wife. I told him he needed to get his shit together before his wife takes the kids and fucking moves on. And I wouldn't blame her, right?
Isn't that the redemption arc for men, though, to learn how to, raise a good family and develop their relationship skills?
Yeah. It is a relationship skill. It is a relationship, but even beyond that, like I don't know what it is right now. There's something going on with the way that and because I don't know if it's because these guys are on fucking X all the time or they're watching political shit all the time. I don't know what the I don't know what's going on, but I probably know, and I don't have a very large social circle, right? I have a smaller friend group. I'm telling you, man, it's like it's a really big thing, and a lot of it. And these guys have good jobs. They're not, they're not hurting. They're not. They're happy that Trump won, but at the same time, they feel like they're got a lot of shit going on there in their heads, and I think alcohol. Why am I talking about K2? I don't mean to be talking about you. Watching politics too much will absolutely rot your brain, Clovertack. You're not wrong. Clovertack, why have you not come up? Too much whiskey tonight?
Let me make sure nobody's trying to get me for the link. Nope. I did put it in mod chat, though.
He says he has no link, asshole. For some reason, I get the idea that he wants the link personally from me.
Oh.
All the time.
He's special, huh?
Apparently. I am an asshole, though, so at least you got that part right. So.
Haven't had a beer in 2 years. Congratulations, Mr. That's awesome.
I've actually heard, all the guys I know that are happy right now have quit alcohol, have quit. I actually just one of my, he's not a good friend. He's a good acquaintance. And this dude has, like, if most guys, if they said, this is what I would like my life to be, I would like to live in a garage dominium with like 10 cars and room that I can walk out and shoot. And my wife is pretty smoking hot, and I have a job that allows me to do pretty much what this guy's got life pretty well sewn up. And the other day, he's like, he sent me a message. He's like, man, you're not gonna believe it. I'm like, what's up? And he's like, man, I haven't had a drop of alcohol in a month. I've been working out. I'm watching he's like, I'm not gonna out his wife's name, but his wife and he are not. They're eating better. They're not going out to eat very much, and all of the things. He's like, man, I feel great. I'm like, I didn't know you felt bad. I thought you were doing pretty good, but yeah, he. It's funny. It's weird how people are kind of coming to that. So I don't know. Clovertack, how the hell are you, young man?
Question.
Yes, sir.
Where is this fucking mod chat? Like in the 9th dimension of hell or some shit? Like
you have to be a mod to see it.
You've got to decipher some fucking code to get the treasure map. What the fuck?
Calm down. If you're not a mod,
I'm not a chick
on the
Don't tell me to
channel,
calm down.
You can't see it. You have to be added to it.
Well, then why do you say, oh, it's in the mod
No,
chat?
I tell the mods to go to the mod chat to give it to.
Well, do your job, fucking mods. Damn.
Where's the mod chat? That's actually funny now. Yeah.
It's a disappearing chat.
You've got good mods. No, I'm just talking shit. You've got good mods.
We do have great mods, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, Michelle smoked Jack out of here tonight like it wasn't nothing. Like I didn't even have time to say anything. He was gone.
I don't see a lot of blue out there tonight, though. You don't have a lot out there tonight, doesn't look like.
No, not a lot. We have a few. We've so we share mods with other channels, and
yeah, everybody does.
There's some other channels that are. I know Andrew's live right now. Mikey Balls was here, but he's probably drinking. So
or smoking, or both.
Or both, yeah.
So you're going to interior decorate, you said.
Yeah, I've
it looks like you're in the fucking bat cave or some shit right now. So it's like, actually Michelle looks like she's in the bat cave. You like, I don't know what kind of cave you're in. You actually look like you're in hell, believe it or not. It's all red and glowing fiery.
There's something about red light that the camera likes. That it lights up the back without making it too bright in here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right.
So I tried green, but green looks weird. I like a lot of people use green. I tried green and blue, and they both look weird.
Right.
So, who knows? What the fuck do I know? I don't know anything about it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How the hell you been, Clovertack? You all right?
Yeah, it's been busy.
Still working?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. That's good. That's real good. What do you think about the redemption thing?
I think it's just hard to tell if people are fucking sincere about stuff like that. That's where all the hoopla comes from. How do you see what's in somebody's heart and mind, right? And I mean, the only thing you can do is judge the actions, and
sure,
that gets dangerous too. So, damn, Michelle's changing all kind of colors over there.
Got the remote.
No, I'm red. No, I'm in hell. I wanted to go too.
Or otherwise known as the mod chat, apparently.
There we go. There we go.
So why are you changing?
I just like to. I have studio ADD. I just change it all the time.
Yeah.
He's been doing it every week since I started watching.
It's not every week, but
it's almost
it's not far off of that. That's for sure. I'm not gonna like try and deny stuff that anybody can see is happening. So there's green. That doesn't work. Bluer.
The blue washes
better
out
now.
your
Lilac. Fucking
lilac.
lilac. Purple. Orange. Yeah. Red works.
I like red.
I don't know why red works so well, but it does.
Why do you not have a light in front of you? Do you not have a
No.
daylight? So you don't do any.
I do, but I take it down. It's too bright.
You need a softbox.
Yeah.
I have softbox, but it's still too bright. I literally have a light right here that is
away.
one. Hang on, let me see. I think it's like it is literally on 1% of light, and it's too much.
Ashley.
But I have three. The problem is I have 3 monitors, and 2 of them are 46-inch monitors.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of light from the monitors. So, yeah, the smoking spaceman, when the red light's on, that on-air sign just fucking pops.
Mm-hmm.
It just stands right the hell out.
It almost looks like there's flames coming off of it.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Mm-hmm. Ghost flames, man.
There you go. Yeah, so I've got a new firearm rack.
Mm-hmm.
And I have room for I think 5 or 6.
5 or 6. That's
that'll be behind me here. Well, look.
There's only really room for 5 or 6. To be fair, I'll
in
back
the camera.
off.
I'm not even going to be able to get
I'll back off. Yeah, I'll back off. Yeah,
but I think anyway. So I'll that should be. I should have that done by tomorrow's daytime show.
Like long gun racks?
Yeah, long guns, and then I've got places to hang holstered firearms. I don't know, but I was going to wear my shoulder holster because I've been trying to wear it as much as possible because it's leather, and the more you wear it, the more it fits.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is that what I discovered is that if I wear the shoulder holster without the firearm in it, without the weight in it, it doesn't pull on it, so it does no good.
Exactly.
So, and I'm very concerned about accidentally showing. Yeah, showing.
Well, you don't typically. You just do the bust thing. You don't really go down low enough to matter.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that it would matter.
Yeah. So
I mean, if you got up and walked off camera or something like that, but you don't ever hardly like zoom out.
No, I don't zoom out.
So could be okay.
As a matter of fact, a good argument can be made if you look at other people. The good argument can be made just to come in even tighter and just have just the shoulders and head with the whatever one thing in the background.
It's pretty tight now. It's better now than it was. Once upon a time, like your chin was on the bottom of the screen. Remember that? Yeah. And you had like half the screen on top of you. It was weird looking.
Well, that's because it's just a lens. I've learned a lot.
Yeah, you've come a long way. We're proud of you.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Tell us about this holster. So what is it?
So it's a holster. I forget the brand, but they're handmade in Turkey or somewhere. And it's all, it's just vegetable dyed, tanned leather. Just a leather holster. I was going to go with another Galco, but I went with, I tried one of these. A buddy of mine has one, and it's lighter than the Galco or the DeSantis.
So, dirty little secret. You said Galco, and it reminded me of this. A lot of the stuff that you see coming out now, these companies do make their own, so it depends on the model. But depending on the model, a lot of things that are coming out of Turkey and what would it be, Eastern Europe and the places like that, the leather holsters are actually Falco holsters.
Really?
Yeah.
So this,
they're just rebranded Falcos.
Yeah. So this is, well, there's no brand on it.
Okay. It probably wouldn't be that then. I don't know why they would. I don't know
So
why
it
they
came,
would. I don't know why they would sub to Falco and then not put their brand on it. That wouldn't make no sense.
so that it doesn't have a brand on it. It's well, it's probably on the buttons. I haven't actually looked at. It's got like brass, snaps.
Yeah, usually they emboss it or whatever.
Yeah, they're embossed. I didn't pay any attention to them. But when I got it, it came in, a standard holster baggie. Nobody puts holsters in boxes anymore. And
Except craft holsters.
Huh?
Except craft holsters.
Okay.
Those fuckers are awesome, dude. They're in Slovakia, and they your shit is packed in straw when you get it. It's fucking awesome.
Oh, I would love that. That's awesome.
Yeah, literally packed in straw.
I mean, I like that old style stuff, and so there was literally a handwritten note. This holster was made in whatever date.
Yep.
And
by the guy who made it. Yep.
By the guy who made it, and I hope you enjoy this holster. Where you please break it in before wearing every day. That kind of thing. I mean, it was like it was actually really cool. So didn't pay a
lot
ton
of the Eastern
for it.
Europeans do that.
Yeah, didn't pay a ton for it. It's like $120, $130, something like that.
Yeah.
So
what's it for?
1911.
Okay, vertical or horizontal?
I went horizontal on this one. I have a vertical one.
Okay.
Yeah, then I went horizontal.
Mag pouches on the opposite side to offset,
Yep.
or
cool. Yeah,
nice.
Yeah. I also have a and it's classic tan leather. I'm boring the shit out of these girls, but it's classic tan leather. Not I mean it. The reason I got it is because lately I've noticed that I'm pulling I normally carry like a SIG in a Filster appendix, or I carry I've got a couple of different like 3 o'clock holsters that I'll carry different things in, and I've got a leather DeSantis holster that's a IWB, and then I have I forget what brand leather OWB. But the thing is that when I'm in the truck a lot, I find myself taking the holster off because it's just not comfortable to drive for 2 hours with the holster on.
Appendix?
Even appendix, yeah.
Well, that's what appendix would be. I don't have a problem with 3 o'clock.
Yeah, 3 o'clock is pretty comfortable, actually. But I normally carry full size guns, so it makes it a little bit different. But I just noticed that appendix, I just keep pulling it. I keep putting it in the compartment, and I got to put it back on when I get out of the truck, and I don't know. So I was like, you know what I really need? I really need a shoulder holster.
I agree.
And
now, are you going to wear a cover garment, or what are you going to do? How are you going to?
Oh yeah. I'll always wear a jacket or a sweater, or
button-up shirt. Yeah, anything.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go all Miami Vice on us and shit with a sport coat.
I am. That's what's up, man.
Yeah,
that's what's up. I just
then you got to get a brand 10 though. See,
a what?
You got to get a brand 10 if you're going to go Miami Vice, not a 1911.
Yeah, I got to stick with the most common platform for me to carry right now is a 1911. Full size, usually.
Not carry for me. I mean, at this point, I've got a ton of 1911s and 2011s, but they're just not. I don't know. I don't see myself carrying any of them. I mean, maybe to certain events, maybe open carry.
I couldn't think of anywhere I could carry a 1911 comfortably on my body. There's just no way. No way.
Yeah,
it's too big. Way too big.
Yeah.
I would be leaning over that thing. It would be stabbing me all over the place. There's
the weight more than anything is what'll get you, and you don't realize it, but it depends too. I mean, I don't know. I've never met Grid, but he's probably a bigger guy. But I know that if I carry something full size, something with a lot of weight, and I do it more than 4 or 6 hours, something like that. I mean, my hip starts hurting and my knee on that side, and it's weird. Just that little bit of weight. It's not a lot of weight. What is? I mean, a couple of pounds, maybe. It's
Yeah.
amazing how a couple of pounds would make that much difference.
Yeah. So I have always carried I've always preferred to carry a full size than a compact. The exception to that, I like the Sig X carry, which is Glock 19 size. And I like the Glock 19. I carry a Glock 19 quite a bit. Glock 17. But a full size 1911, I can hide it, no problem. Like even when and I mean, I know a dude that's a rail. I mean, he is a fence post of a dude, and he appendix carries a Tankfolio stock 2.
Wow.
Appendix carries it.
Wow.
Concealed, and you would not know that gun's on. And I had one of my other buddies carried a Glock 34, the competition gun, not the 9mm long barrel, long slide. He carried it appendix every day.
Yeah.
And
well,
now his job, he was standing most of the time. So
the right belt,
all about the belt.
All the difference in the world, that's for sure. And then holster as well. I mean, you can have a holster that's a good holster, but it just does not wear the same, right?
That's why I'm such a huge fan of the Filster holsters, man. So I just really the Filster holster is so comfortable. It fits. Everybody's kind of got a knockoff of it now. Alien Gear has one, and but man, I'm telling you that Filster holster is just next level.
Yeah.
But I found that if I have a good, and I know you're not, it's hard because sweat, body oils, all that kind of thing really take a toll. We lost Ashley. She doesn't want to talk. The gun stuff is too much.
No, I think her puppies had her distracted, but
yeah, it's okay. We're almost done for the night anyway. But to be honest with you, I had I prefer a leather IWB holster a lot.
Mm-hmm.
They're just more comfortable. They don't pinch as much. They wear into you a little bit. The only problem is that and it is it's an accurate criticism, is that it is harder to reholster in a leather holster than it is a Kydex.
Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, is that a problem? Like,
I've never needed to reholster in a hurry. So
yeah, I mean, you don't need to reholster in a hurry. So I mean, if you're out and you're training and you're practicing, just take your time. It's that simple, and pay attention to what you're doing. And then in the event that you do have to pull and use, you're going to have time. Probably not a good idea to reholster it anyway. It's probably a good idea to go put it under the seat of your truck or in the console or some shit like that. Not even have it on you if and when, law enforcement or whatever arrives, cleanup crew arrives, right? Probably a good idea not even to have it on you.
Yeah.
Assuming the threat's been neutralized.
Right.
But until that point, it's not coming out of my hands anyway. So,
I just, like the whole idea, so I have a single-sided vertical shoulder holster that you can adjust the cant. So it can go from vertical to maybe 15 degrees,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a little bit of cant's nice, a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit of cant, not much. And it's like a single-sided holster where it that has a leather strap that holds the gun, and then it has a elastic strap that comes around the other arm and down to your belt, and no mag holders. So that's actually it's a really nice holster, and it works out pretty well as well.
Yeah.
But and it's especially nice if you're going to be out actually in the field.
It's just out in the field, I prefer a chest rig.
I can't get used to it. I can't get used to
Well,
it.
I mean, that's fair, right? But I just prefer chest rig. It's right there, and
Yeah,
I've even done some videos and some other things about,
I've tried,
if you
man.
had your rifle or your shotgun slung, right? Like your chest rig allows you to, easily get to one, while you're wearing the other. And if you've got your rifle slung, it's not beating against, 3 o'clock or, you know,
Yeah,
like any kind of weirdness like that. You're not hanging stuff on brush, and it's just there. It's in front of you. It's easy to get to. I mean, what happens if, God
I,
forbid, a big cat in my neck of the woods, quite
right.
literally, it's not going to happen. We don't have bears and big cats, but in some
We
places
do.
we do. And if you get knocked down, pounced on, whatever, like, and you're on
Yeah,
your back, it
it's
needs to be right
interesting you
there.
say that because this is the first. So we have been saying people like me that get out in the wild. I have seen tons of mountain lion sign. Now I've also seen tons of bobcat sign as well. I know the difference. Mountain lions, bro. Mountain lions. And years ago, when I was in high school, my uncle, who ran dogs for raccoons and shit, he was called out to hunt down a bunch of or a pair of mountain lions, and they did get the one mountain lion. I don't know if they ever got the second one. And since then, TWRA has said there are no mountain lions in Tennessee. There just aren't any. And after finally, I think literally somebody has a picture on a Ring camera of one walking on their front porch.
Yeah.
They finally said, okay,
Yeah.
they're mountain lions in Tennessee.
They conveniently leave out the last part of that we know of, right?
Yeah,
There are none here that we know of. Like,
that we're willing to admit knowledge
yeah,
of.
yeah.
So
There's
I get the
been
idea of the chest rig. I like the idea of the guide rig. I just can't get used to having the guide rig, just right here, right?
just right there. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You don't
I
run.
want to. I get it. I understand it. I like the guide holster. I just
You don't
don't.
run a holster on your kit or nothing.
No, I wear a drop leg.
Okay.
So I run a drop. And honestly, most of the time if I'm out hunting, I run the same drop leg.
Yeah.
Because it's
Drop leg is good for range duties or or out in the woods too. You run into the same issue where you can potentially banging it around and it's catching brush and briars and other things. So
yeah, it's
again,
true.
that's why I prefer that chest rig. It's typically
Yeah.
in a place that's not really going to get hung up too much.
Yeah. I maybe I'll give it another try this year, but I've run the drop rig so long.
Yeah.
And I run I run for my drop rig, I run a Safariland GLS 548.
Carrying, what do you carry for that usually?
Usually 2011.
Oh,
Usually 2011.
Yeah.
2011 guy. And so I actually have to modify the 548 for it. But it's got that retention. So even if it gets caught on a limb, it doesn't matter. Right.
Yeah, that's not that big of an issue for me. It's just beating the fuck out of it, and scratching the fuck out of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, my thing, I don't mind, scratched up guns or used guns, right? So,
yeah.
I don't mind that. I don't mind that too much. It doesn't bother me because the worst thing you can have is aside from like an heirloom collectible piece, the worst thing, showpiece, the worst thing you can have is a gun that has no scratches or blemishes.
Never been fired.
Yeah.
I actually have one gun two guns that have never been fired in my possession.
I don't know how many.
One is a Ruger Blackhawk 44 Magnum. I've never fired it.
What's the reasoning for that?
It came to it was a friend of mine who passed. He gave it to my parents. My parents gave it to me. It's just never been fired. There's no reason for not firing it. It's just and because there for a while I couldn't even find ammo.
What did you say? It was 44?
44 mag, yeah.
Nice. Mine's 357.
And I'm actually looking for a leather holster for that, like a cowboy holster.
Craft holster. And maybe even the basket weave. Oh, their basket weave that's what I've got from my 357 Blackhawk is a basket weave leather from Craft, and it looks good. It looks good.
Yeah, I've got a
actually my 4440 will fit it too, because it's same
frame
style. Yeah.
And I have a Dan Wesson 357, the interchangeable barrel system.
Mm-hmm.
I love that gun. It's my second one.
Yeah.
And I fired it, but I need a holster for it. The other unfired gun I have an IWI Jericho 2.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
Yeah, I got it. It's just been sitting in the box. I haven't been to the range at some
You got a lot of shit that there really ain't no reason you shouldn't be out there shooting it.
I know.
Mine is either like a sentimental thing, or they're hard to find, become rare before I had a chance to shoot them. Company went out of business, there's some type of reason like that. Like I'm not going to be able to get parts if anything was to go south, like those types of issues.
I still shoot my AMT backup, even though that company hasn't existed for 25 years.
Yeah, but if it's already been shot, then I don't mind it that much.
I shoot the shit out of that thing.
The stuff I've got that is used, that has been shot, that is more on the rare side. I'm real sparing with how much I shoot them. Like I don't go out and burn through 200-300 rounds in a range session. I'll go out and run a mag through something, or maybe a couple cylinders, and I don't use super hot self-defense ammo or anything like that when I do it. Right.
Yeah, that's the problem I have with a 44 mag is that I don't really want Elmer Keith loads. I just need, I just want some like plinking.
Pick up some of the Magtech Cowboy loads up, man.
If I can find them, I'll do it.
Yeah,
they literally the only 44 mag ammo I have found in the last year and a half is some Winchester white box.
That's not very powerful stuff either.
Smoking Spaceman, I believe it's a 6-inch barrel. It's a 4 or 6-inch barrel on that Vaquero, or not Vaquero, Blackhawk.
I'm gonna say goodnight, Grid.
Night
to the guy.
Yeah, I'm almost out too. We're in bullshit about guns for about another 15 minutes and get the fuck out of here.
Cool. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Good night, Clover Tack.
See ya. Tell Glenn to get better internet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
you have any 45 Colts?
I had a 45 Colt single action army, but I loaned that to my buddy.
Well, when I say that, I don't necessarily mean Colt. I understand, but
no, I had a Colt single action army.
Yeah.
I loaned it to my buddy about 26 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I reckon he's still got it.
What about 4440s?
No, I don't have any 40. I had a rifle that shot 44. I had a Marlin. Fuck is that thing called?
4440 or 444 Marlin?
No, 4440 Marlin lever action.
The 1890.
1898, 1898,
1895, 1894, 1894.
Whatever it was.
95 is the long action.
Punishing.
94 is the short.
That's one of the few guns in my life I fucking hated.
Really?
Yeah, because I had the.
Because 4440 in a revolver is nothing. It is a sweet.
Yeah, but it had this really thin stock on it with a brass butt plate, and that thing would separate your shoulder.
Yeah, they do. That's true. Well, my Marlin in 1895 and 4570 is not that bad.
Mild. I had a Ruger American mountain rifle with the synthetic stock, and I swear to God,
yeah, it'll beat you to death.
That stock, the the butt of that stock was maybe 3/4 of an inch thick.
Yeah.
And that whole gun weighed like 7 pounds.
Yeah. Beat you
And
to
I
death.
dared anybody to shoot that thing 10 times in a row.
What was it,
And it's
chambered
just
in?
little pussy 308. Like, it's nothing.
Oh, I would have done it.
Oh, dude, it hurts so bad.
Eh.
It hurts so bad.
It don't hurt immediately. Or for me, for me, it doesn't. Like it takes time. Like later that night or the next morning. Oh, I'm feeling the shit for sure.
Yeah.
But immediately, like recoil and shit like that, it don't fuck
Yeah.
with me like off the bat immediately. So that's the good thing. I can
That
take some
thing was just
naproxen and get some Bengay out or some icy hot or something, and I'm good.
Oh yeah, dude. I used to take that thing out, and I had a Mossberg 308 at the same time, and
They'll beat you to death too.
I had a Howa 308 with what it was. I think it's a wood stock, but it's like synthetic finished or some shit. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
The Howa is like the easiest gun in the world to shoot. Like, it's nothing.
Yeah.
That Ruger, man, that thing was brutal. It's so mean. So angry, but you know what? That was the gun that if I was going to go out, and do like mule deer or something like that, and I
that
had
was the American. You're talking about the American though, right?
Yeah, the American. If I had to go out and carry that thing all day with a pack on my back, it was going to be. If I was going to have to carry a rifle with a pack, it was going to be the American.
So I've got a Ruger 77, and they're just not as bad. It doesn't matter what what configuration for whatever reason, and I know what the reason is. It's the action. The action does I think absorb a little more, but that one I took and put a pepper laminate, one of those pepper colored salt and pepper, whatever you call it, laminate stocks on it.
Yeah, like a Boyd.
And when I got it, it already had a Vice muzzle brake on it. And dude, that brake cuts the recoil, and it's 300 Win Mag. Did I mention that? I don't think I mentioned that.
Yeah.
It's fucking 300 Win Mag, and that Vice brake, man, just cuts. Now, people will hate your ass that are anywhere close to you when you shoot it.
Oh, I have that with my AR, man.
Oh yeah, they will hate you, but it does the job. I mean, it cuts the thump considerably.
Adam 87, yes, the gun talk. We Clover Tack and I can kind of get into some weeds on this. We haven't actually done gun prattle in a while. We're gonna have to do a daytime podcast with nothing but gun prattle at some point. But yes, I get it, man. If you want to bail, it's cool. Or if you want to just listen and learn, that's cool too. So I have a Effin TSR in 300 short mag, and I had the best thing ever happen to me one day. I was at 100-yard range, and I was just sighting in, just doing some zero work, and so I'm sitting there zeroing in. Everything's great, and I shot about 60 rounds of 300 Wisdom. And it was hot stuff, it was like, 168 grain hunting loads, it's Winchester silver tips. The guy next to me was shooting a 30-06, but it was I'm 90% sure it was a Savage Axis, which is a synthetic stock, super light gun, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
He fired like 5 times, and he was just pissed.
Yeah.
And he kept looking at me, because here I am with this like massive amount of noise, right? You can just tell he's looking at the casings, and yeah, it's a short action, so it's a shorter case, but those things are fat. And
yeah, they are.
He's sitting there looking at it, and I'm rapid firing for it. I was doing 4 shots as fast as I could work the action and pull the trigger and get a sight picture. Because I was trying to see what my follow-up shots would look like.
Yeah.
mainly because that's a gun I took into elk country, and there was always the chance of running into a moose or something.
Right.
And one of the few animals that I'm actually afraid of on the planet is a fucking bull moose.
That reminds me of an AI song that I created.
Really?
Yeah, I don't want to get humped by a moose today.
Fuck no, man. And I tell you what, those things are vicious creatures, man. They're angry. They're angry as fuck.
You should play that sometime. Pull it
Yeah.
up. It's over on Clover Tack Music.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, you should pull that up sometime. People probably enjoy that
I'll
one.
look into that.
It's
But
total
yeah,
AI, fucking total AI. You wouldn't know it, but it's total AI.
I gotta be honest with you, man. I would go when I would do these elk hunts,
But no, I
because I
agree.
was hunting on public land, right?
Yeah.
So I would go out and I would go I'd hike in 10 to 12 miles, make my base camp, and then I would do a spike camp. Usually it was about in about a 3 mile range, right? Radius, because that, I go out, I would go out pretty far actually. Up ridge lines, and usually I was looking from one ridge line across an open space onto another ridge line to find these stupid elk. And
yeah.
So I was always actually really concerned that, like, a lot of people were concerned about bears, but I'm like, fuck no, man, those damn moose will kill you.
They're a big fucking animal.
It's a huge animal. Huge. Like, I've
Dude,
seen
it
a
makes
couple
a horse.
in the wild.
It makes a fucking horse look like a dog. I mean,
dude, I've seen a couple in the wild while I was out elk hunting. Unfortunately, they didn't fuck with me.
Yeah.
But dude, it was enough that I actually changed my complete opinion on fucking moose. Right? Because my idea of moose was fucking bullwinkle, dude.
Bullwinkle? Yeah, no shit.
It's just a dumbass animal.
Nope.
But they will fuck you up, man.
Yep. Easily do it. And that's why they'll do it. It's because they can easily do it.
Yeah. Yeah. For them, it's like, this is light work. And so and I'm not, like, elk are not a problem. Bear and Colorado, I mean, yeah, they're there, but it was the moose is what scared the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
Of course, then at that point they hadn't introduced the wolves yet. Now, if I was going, I would fucking, I'm taking a semi-auto of some kind.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because there's fucking wolves out there. I ain't fucking, my bolt gun's good. And actually I just saw a video the other day released of some guy who was getting charged by a pig. And
yeah, I've seen it many times.
And he has this bolt action, dude, and he managed to get he probably emptied the magazine, because I think he got 4 or 5 shots off.
I watched my baby brother dump the entire mag of a 45 ACP high point into a pig that was after him.
Damn.
And thank God he had dogs. He hunts with dogs. And thank God he had dogs, because the dogs got in between and turned him and shit. But before he got there, but he dumped the fuck before I could get there, or get within range, with my 10 millimeter. He dumped an entire 45 into that fucking pig, dude. And maybe 10, 15 foot.
You're nuts hunting pig. You're nuts hunting pigs with a pistol caliber, anything.
Well, he relied on his dogs. And so he's one of these crazy fuckers that will send the dogs in, and then he will jump on that fucker's back, pull the pig sticker, and go to work.
No.
And while the dogs, while the dogs do their job, and he's got great dogs.
That's not fucking gonna happen,
but
bro.
The pig got loose.
Got
loose and got by the dogs and took out. And like I said, he dumped the entire fucking mag of 45, dude. And that pig was still coming. I mean, it stumbled, right, and whatever. But
what is it about some dudes trying to kill animals with their knives. So I have a cousin.
If you call it a knife, what he's got's more like a machete. But I hear you.
Yeah, so I have a cousin, and I'm gonna preface this by saying that he did go in the Marine Corps. He did do the Scout Sniper School thing, Force Recon, whatever. He did all that shit. But before he did all of that, as a crazy ass teenager, he and I was probably, dude, I was probably like 13 or 14 at the time. And we're up in these tree stands, and we're in Tennessee, so there's like, you look down this way, it's fucking fence line forever. You look out across a field's like 600 yards across, so you're not going to have a long shot no matter what.
Yeah.
And the deer would move up and down those fence lines, and anywhere. I mean, a deer. It was amazing how the deer could just like pop out of fucking nowhere.
Oh, yeah.
And so we're up in these stands. We're kids. Well, he was older than me. He's probably 17 at the time. And I remember he had this big ass fucking Bowie knife,
Uh-huh. Oh yeah.
And so a deer comes past me. I couldn't get an angle. I probably could now, but back then I was using a lever action 30-30, like iron sights,
Mm-hmm.
So I couldn't get an angle on this deer. I couldn't really see it in the dark anyway. And he's headed for my cousin.
Mm-hmm.
And I can see my cousin, and I can see that he's looking at this deer, and he's got his rifle, but he can't, the way the limbs are, he can't get an angle.
Yeah.
Without making a bunch of noise. So I see him put the rifle down, and I thought he was just going to sit there and wait until the deer moved out into the field, right? And just sit there and be a fucking hole in the air.
Mm-hmm.
And just wait for the deer to move out in the field. But that's not what the fuck this idiot did. This deer comes past him. He jumps out of the fucking tree with the goddamn knife.
I was waiting on you to say that. Hell yeah.
And stabbed this fucking deer. This deer
was like, what the fuck?
It's literally like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And goes batshit crazy.
That's awesome.
And he's fucking bleeding and shit. And my cousin is like, he's trying to stab him, and he's trying to do all this stuff. And he did kill that deer. I mean, I'm not. He fucking killed that deer, but it was the craziest shit.
That's awesome.
I've ever seen. And that was a fucking deer. That's a deer that, by all rights, probably should have just run the fuck away. You're talking about doing that on a wild pig? No.
Well, first of all, you're not jumping out of a tree. That's first of all.
That was insane. And he was,
second of all, you do have dogs that are at least offering you some protection because they're keeping his attention in his head in a certain direction and all of that. And then third, I said, pig sticker. The best way I can describe the knives that my brother uses are bayonets, essentially. It's the best way to describe them. So
I saw a guy try to use a boar spear. I thought that was fucking wild. I don't know that he ever got a boar, but that was in Texas too. That was down in Waxahachie, Texas.
Yep, I know it well.
Crazy motherfuckers down there.
Smoking space real quick. So he said 7 rim mag or 300 win mag. And my preference is going to be all day 300 win.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah,
he put that out there a while ago. Imperius said something about the ATF director about
the appointment.
Cash. So my opinion on the whole thing with Cash. I'm cautiously optimistic with that, and the reason I'm cautiously optimistic with that is that Cash is pretty close with the GOA folks. So I think they'll steer him, if nothing else, in the right direction. So let's hope.
No, I mean, you're probably right. Probably right.
Oh.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing though. I had I'll never forget John Dill jumping out of that fucking
That's
tree. Now,
amazing.
I hadn't thought about it in a long time until you talked about that.
Well, I told you the story about my grandpa beating a deer to death with a tree limb. Right?
No, you didn't.
I tell that story.
No.
So it's the funniest shit because somewhere is the pictures because of the game cameras. So he shoots a deer. Deer drops. Like, okay, cool.
Okay.
Gets down out of the stand.
What happens?
Leaves the rifle, leans it up in the corner of the fucking stand, gets down, the deer's dead. He sat there for a minute or so. Deer's not moving, Okay, cool. Gets over there to the deer, gonna start, tying some ropes to drag and other things. And the deer starts flailing and flopping around, trying to get up and shit, trying to fight him in the process. Well, his rifle's in the stand, and he kind of, I guess, freaks out. And so he just tries to find the biggest limb he can find and commences to beating this deer to death with a fucking tree limb. And it's on the game. There's literal stills from the game cam. They take a picture every however many seconds or whatever.
Yeah.
And there's literal stills of my grandfather beating a deer to death somewhere. I don't know who's got them, but I remember seeing them. They're fucking hilarious.
It's kind of awesome, to be honest with you.
Yeah. It's not as good as the death from above story for sure, but
I just couldn't believe he did that, and it was just it was so crazy. I
know you're sitting there going, I know this motherfucker ain't fixing to do this. I know this fucker ain't fixing
to
do
dude,
this.
I was like shit, 14 at the time, and I'm like, holy shit. I didn't know what to do. Like, I didn't know if I needed to get out and get over there at the gun and be ready to shoot him or whatever. I didn't know what the fuck to do, like it was crazy. I saw and I actually have some fairly weird deer stories. I had one of the guys I worked with I can't say where I work, but he was a be all you can be Army guy. He had been Airborne, Special Forces, Ranger, blah blah blah. Went to every school that they would send him to. All of that but he's a little guy, but a lot of fucking attitude. And we went hunting one time, and that was about the time I started carrying a handgun everywhere. And at that time I was carrying a Spanish gun called an Astra. It was an Astra A70 compact.
Hell yeah.
And it was a fucking great gun, right?
Yeah, Astros were. Yeah.
And it was just tremendous. It was just super reliable. It worked great.
Gun Control Act of '68 fucked that shit up for the most part.
It did, dude. That sucks about. But so I had this Astra. It was a single stack. It was a great carry gun. Had enough weight to it if you needed to beat somebody. That was cool. Yeah. And it was just a great carry gun. So I had that. I almost called him by his name. My buddy had a Beretta 92. That's what he, they were all going to in the service at some point, and he didn't like the 1911, because he was born after 1980, and
they were going to the M9, but yeah,
I guess it wasn't 1980. He was born after 1970. So
right, clarify, get technical for people out there learning. The military was going to the M9, not the 90.
Yeah. So
same thing.
Yeah, it's the same. So he has a Beretta 92, 9mm Winchester silver tips, the whole deal. Guys don't know nothing about them silver tips, and we're like just out hunting again. It's Tennessee. Now, this was a little bit different because this was a rolling field. So you had to be up pretty high in the tree to see out over it. And there were places the deer could get through where even if you'd see their head but that's it. And you couldn't see the rest of them.
Yeah, right.
And we were counting on the deer coming down across in front of us. But what ended up actually happening is they came in behind us and were coming out through through the tree line. And so we're sitting here watching these deer come underneath us. And I kid you, I watched probably a half a dozen does before a buck came through. And then I was about to take a shot. I was waiting for it to move far out so I could get a good shot with the rifle. My buddy, I'm gonna say his name again. And by the time this is over, I'm gonna say this motherfucker's name.
It doesn't matter. Ain't nobody gonna figure it out.
So my buddy is in the tree, and the same thing happens. All these does come out, and a good sized buck is behind him.
Uh-huh.
Now I can see it, but I can't shoot it. He can't see it, but I know it's there. The buck starts moving forward. My buddy sees it, but again, it's just the positioning was wrong for the rifle.
Yeah.
So he pulls the pistol out, which I thought was illegal. I thought that I honestly thought TWRA was going to bust us, like come out, like a SWAT team video, right? Yeah. So I'm watching him, and I'm like, "There's no way he's about to shoot this deer. This pistol."
Fuck yeah, I mean, it's close. I would. Yeah,
he was. He shot that thing right in the neck, dude. Like down, just right through the neck. And that deer literally took 3 steps and just done. So that silver tip just tore
That's what I was fixing to say. You unplug that central nervous system and it's game over, bitch.
It was just done, dead, right there.
I know quite a few people who's done that. Shot them with handguns from right.
I didn't know handgun hunting was a thing, and the thing is that technically shooting it with the 9mm at that time in Tennessee was probably against the law, but the slug was so mangled they couldn't tell the difference between 9mm and 357.
Well, that's even if you get caught is the other thing.
Well,
I'll tell you something that people do around here, and I mean the game wardens know it. So if there happens to be any of them listening, they fucking know, this kind of shit happens. But during muzzleloader season, there will be people around here that hunt with 36 caliber or 45 caliber muzzle loaders.
Mm-hmm.
And then they will have, like a 308, or they'll have like 4570 or their 45 bushy or something, or 450 bushy or something like that, that they take with their muzzle loader. They will shoot it with the modern and then they will leave their modern in the stand until they get the deer, get him home, and then they'll go back and get it like the next day. Like, how you gonna fucking tell? Like, you would have to be suspicious. The game warden would have to, hey, let's go back to your stand, and shit happens. There's ways to do things. That particular one, I don't know, but I mean, even if you shot one that close with let's just say some type of a ballistic tip on a 308, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference between a 9 and a 308 anyway.
Dude, I was sold on silver tips after that.
Yeah,
And then so the second time I had an experience with a silver tip was on a groundhog. There's this groundhog. My buddy Ken and I don't mind throwing him under the bus.
We're gonna.
My buddy Ken and I were out at his family's farm over here in Walter Hill. Not Walter Hill. What is it? It's Woodbury. So we're at they own some property over there. They were going to build a house there eventually, and the only thing on this property is this old fucking barn. And we used to go out there and shoot out of the barn, through the barn. I shot wasp off the side of the barn with a 22, and we had all kinds of good shooting fun.
Yeah.
Well, we come rolling up there one day, get out of the vehicle, and this fucking groundhog takes off running. You know how they kind of run, right? It's a kind of slinky looking run. and Ken just pulls. He had a stainless steel Smith and Wesson. I think they called it a 4.59, it's a state trooper gun.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it was a 9mm double stack, state trooper gun.
Mm-hmm.
And he shot this thing with a silver tip. It went in the shoulder, but it didn't hit any of the bone and exited out the back by the tail and didn't hit a bone. And it full fucking expansion, dude. Like huge. Yeah. I mean, that thing just shredded it. And we had groundhogs do that night.
Nice.
Right?
That's about all you could do probably with it after that.
Yeah, that's it, man. You weren't getting any groundhog steaks, that's for sure.
Yeah, stew meat. Especially down because it sounded like it ran right down the back strap and everything else. So
yeah. Well, it entered at the shoulder and then it went down the kind of the ventral.
Oh, it went down lower. It kind of went down to down.
Kind of went down that ventral right along the rib cage, which was it didn't hit any of the bones. It didn't hit the spine, didn't hit the ribs, nothing. It just went straight through that meaty part of the, and it was fucking awesome. And I was sold on silver tips after that. I was like, I don't care. I mean, just look at what it's doing to like this thin skin groundhog. Think about it, like a dude, right? Like, I mean, I still to this day have some silver tips left.
Oh yeah.
I've got black talons around here somewhere. I
do too. Yeah,
but
not illegal to have them. It's kind of like lawn darts. Black talons are kind of like lawn darts. They just they said, oh, you can't manufacture those anymore, and then the companies promptly just quit painting them black and loaded them a little different. You can buy the same fucking thing nowadays. It's just not called a black talon anymore.
Yeah, no, you're right. I think that's a good place to stop, man. That little trip down memory. I had not thought about John jumping out of that fucking tree in forever.
That's awesome.
Fucking stabbed the shit out of that deer.
Story ever. See what you get when you hang around with the fucking gun prattle people.
I know, right?
Like funniest story fucking ever.
It's
awesome.
I just can't believe that happened, man. You guys have a great night. I'm gonna jump off here. I'm gonna go haunt the internet for a few minutes, and then I'm gonna go in and go to bed. I'm tired.
Exactly.
Starting to get kind of angry and shit. But I'm not even gonna redirect you guys. Go find a new home. See ya.